Hello,
against Skaven.
we're recording. This is it. Skaven and Vampire count as seen on screen here. There's our two factions. Final session. Covering some replays.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Who would have thunked it? Skaven and the Dead Boys.
Who would have punked it?
The two chaff factions, pretty much.
Uh, hmm, yeah, pretty much.
Expendable is their middle name.
But I don't know. Well, do you know any reason why somebody would bring three Fargeists against Skaven?
Well, you could sort of just land wherever you want. Also, Vargos have armor piercing now, so they're good against weapon teams. Well, they were before, but this time they'll actually chew through them quite nicely.
Yeah, I guess so.
They can also, because there's not really any Skaven that can do to them once they're flying around, so you could just sort of fly them back in the air if they're in danger or something.
That's true. Unless they have wolf rats or something.
But yeah, but if you bring Wolf, I don't think Wolf Rats will perform very well against vampire counts.
No.
Sort of get isolated and killed.
Granted, being caught by the tunnels will effectively kill them.
Yeah. I think being caught by pretty much anything, because all the undead cause fear, it means they'll break quite quickly.
True, true. Is this a storm vermin unit I see in your army?
Yeah, Storm Vermin. I kind of just threw it in there. To be honest, the Storm Vermin is probably the one thing out of place in this army. Not the Cancer Guard. But if we have a look here, starting off, the first replay of the day, we have a typical... This is the typical strategy vampire counts need to perform against Skaven. We're going quite wide, going wider than the actual Skaven just because you want to overwhelm them. On the left side here, we have Kemler, along with 2 units of Blood Knights on the left. In the flanks back here, just in case there's some sort of gun line, he's got some dire wolves in the back for the flanking manoeuvre so they can't see those. 3 Vargeists on the right flank to act as a flying flank force. And then the front line being just zombies with Graveguard, great weapons, skeleton spearmen, and a White King. Now the White King performs quite well against Skaven, but he made a mistake here of not bringing Scab's Graith, because Scab's Graith is what does the work.
He did the big dumb, like it's literally 60 gold.
Yeah, so it's definitely worth bringing Scab's Graith against Skaven. It's a really good tool. Blight Scab. Oh, Blight Scab is the main thing you want to be looking for, because as you can see here, I have Blight Scab, which is of course given that AoE immune to psychology. Frontliner Clanrat Spears. I've got a very strong leadership core here. I have the Warlock Engineer, who has nothing but his armour, which allows for their Mortis Engine effect. I have a Chieftain giving physical resistance and -5 melee attack to enemies in range. Well, the physical resistance is to allies and the melee attack is to enemies. And also have the -5 from Skrulk along with his buff spells and both his items. Also got a Helmet here, just in case a dragon sort of wants to just try and team up on those. 2 units of Poison Wind Globadiers. And in the back line, it's Warp Grinders along with various units just to sort of hold in line. So basically the Warp Grinders tie it down and stuff in the back line kills it. Specifically the Counter Guard is doing good on their own here.
Yeah. But funny thing is that due to all the debuffs that with Skrulk and Chieftain, pretty much all zombies will just have 0 attack and they just won't hit anything.
Yeah,
Like,
-10 pretty much. A constant -10.
Like, what, 28 melee attack?
Yeah, the great weapons get to 18, so they basically do nothing in the front line, especially when you've got the fairly high melee defensive Clanrat Spears. Like, it means they're going to perform really well.
Yeah, it means they survive way longer than they should. It's very, very funny.
To be honest, I could probably even miss these Globadiers because of the buffs being provided there. Maybe go with a stronger front line and then I don't have to worry about Globadiers. Maybe some Plague Monks or something extra.
Because there's no range units that can kill the Plague Monks easily except
No.
Scab's Wraith.
Usually you'll be using those Scab's Grace on the Blight Scabs specifically already, so won't have any left. Of course, if you're looking around, typical. This is why you form the box formation, is so that because you're almost guaranteed to get overwhelmed by the vampire count, so you have to make this box formation so that when you do get overwhelmed, you're most prepared to deal with it.
And here comes trying to land.
Here comes the clash, and here goes some Vargos trying to get into those Poison Wind Globadiers. They didn't get a very good charge angle off on them from there. Went right into the Hell Pit. Also the Wolf Rats, Dire Wolves trying to get into the flanks, but I catch them with the Storm Vermin. I managed to tie him down with the Warp Grinders, which also affects these grounded Vargeist as well. More Vargeist just completely destroying that Warp Grinder unit before it can even activate. I try and get the Counter Guard here in charge. Just popping Skulk's abilities here because he's in an okay enough position to do it. Blood Knight as well coming into this flank. Again, you can just see them just trying to overwhelm the destroy, because if you can separate out these units, you sort of destroy them. I noticed that all the high value stuff is here, so I redirect my Poison Globe Fire into that area as well. To sort of maximise my damage, because how all these Blood Knights are like a prime target. That's what I want to be getting rid of.
Yeah, losing some storm is worth killing.
Hold on a second, I'm just going to lower the sound. For some reason it didn't consistently keep with it. Lower... Who the hell is that? That should be okay. I'll also see if I can't turn you up. There you go. That should be good. Check the stream. I mean, I know hearing your own voice is painful.
Yeah. I know, it's...
Just want to check the volume. I don't know if anybody on stream can sort of gauge how good things are going. Globadeer's coming in. This perfect Globadeer fire going into these Blood Knights. Perfect value. The other Globadeer unit's long gone now.
Alright, I think I sound fine now.
Cool.
Let's see.
Yeah, Globadeer's getting caught out now.
And also you have to... And the funny thing is, out of all the units that are being damaged, the only ones that aren't damaged are the Plague Pack and
Light Scabs,
Council Guard,
which is those two strongest units. Because there's those strong infantry units that you can't really... Vampire Kents kind of struggle to deal with because they don't have like a breath spell apart from Wind of Death, which is not really worth it. So when it comes to big old infantry units like this, like Council Guard and Blight Scabs, that's why you want the Scab's Grace, because they'll do really good to the Plague Scabs, and usually you'll want Dragon Breaths to take out the Council Guard.
Especially if the Abomination and Skrulk are still alive.
Yeah.
There's very little they'll be able to do to stop that from killing anything. You can just keep summoning Vermintide for an overview.
Kemmler getting a bit stuck on the leadership trio there. It should also be noted that this whole time the Warlock Engineer's been doing like a huge AoE of his Mortis Engine effect. I don't know if we can see its range.
It's literally anything he's in melee with.
It's like that, yeah, there you go, that area there. So it's affecting all those key units with that AoE attack.
As long as he's in melee, it affects everything in the AoE.
Yeah.
Which
is pretty much hitting everything here at this time.
Like, yeah, he might have not that great melee defense, but due to the Chieftain and Skrull, anything in range that could hurt him
isn't doing very well.
Isn't going to hit him very likely.
Also popping a Rod of Corruption here, just doing even more AoE damage, just maximising this Mortis Engine effect so that I can drain down the Vampire Counts faster than they can heal.
Yeah.
Should also be noted that Skrulk has magic attack, and Kemmler's ability gives him physical resistance. So Skrulk, and I think the Warlock Engineer has it. No, he doesn't. It's just Skrulk.
No, he doesn't. It's Skrulk that has.
But that still means Skrulk does magical damage.
It's the Warplock Master who
has the magic damage. He has summoned up Krell here, and he's got it on my Hell Pit. Hell Pit has fallen because of that. Escapes, throwing out some Skaven staves.
Would be impressed.
Slaying a Hell Pit abomination.
Single-handedly. Did you know once Krell punched a Dread Saurian in the face?
Did he? Killed it instantly. Broke its neck. Yeah. Died instantly.
Broke its neck.
Even Kemmler was impressed with that.
Yeah, even Kemmler was impressed. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Do that.
Did I give him that power? Did I do that? Yeah, but right now it's just down to these key units, Council Guard, Blight Scabs, and the trio of leadership.
Blight Scab can get over to your leadership for it.
Yeah. To break that. Well, at this point there isn't really like any fear and terror left. And of course you're getting constant fear, but there's no terror that could cause terror outs now.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think there was to begin with. I think that was another mistake. There wasn't any terror-causing units in the Vampire Count. So the whole immune psychology didn't come in that much of effect.
Yeah, it's not like with the one replay I used, which was where I brought out just a single Banshee, which they're fairly cheap, and it's terror. So
it's pretty good. As long as you don't see like Skrulk with his book, then you should be fine.
Yeah.
Because if he throws the book at the Banshee, it dies. Throw the book at her. But yeah, also bringing stand your ground on Skrulk, giving all these guys an extra 24 melee defense, just really means everything's going to last a really long time in this situation.
Yeah. Well, also, when would you ever not bring stand your ground?
Yeah, but even more so when you're going like a tight box formation like this. That's just maximising its usage. And also when your whole game plan is sort of like whittling down the enemy, standing down just even works even more. Like maybe if you're going for like more of a rush playstyle, you don't want like whatever stand your ground equivalent is. If you're going for more of like a Russian overwhelm from vampire counts or like greenskins or something.
Also,
Imagine the greenskins get a late attack instead, don't they?
Also, the Warpluck Master's spells are pretty useful. Just bringing
Hmm.
just one of them is useful. Something like Warp Lightning on the cavalry, or
Yeah, something like that. I didn't bring any of his
on
spells
your
in this
own
one.
units. Oh, that's good.
But I could have probably switched out Skrulk's Breath with a Warp Lightning.
Yeah, because he had all those Blood Knights
Piled up, yeah.
Single Warp Lightning
Would have done really nice.
Would have wiped out half as well. I guess you've seen when I'm using them.
Yeah, at this point it is pretty worse odds for the vampire counts. It seems that leadership core is still alive. He still has a White King going.
The
But
other
that's about
thing
it.
is that your leadership core and your elite infantry are still alive.
Yeah, and he's got not much. He's got this unit of Blood Knights, 12 units, 12 models left, and but both of them are at their healing cap, so they have no more opportunity to sort of get any further. Just from all that whittling down.
Healing capped.
Yeah, so they're not going to be recovering anytime soon.
There's literally nothing he can do at this point.
And there you go.
And disintegrates.
Yeah, so for the vampire count army, I think probably some terror causing would have been good, and also obviously the Scabs Grace on the White King. Probably could have dropped the Vargul for 2, brought some bats instead, because they serve the same purpose really against Skaven. For my army, I probably didn't need the Globadiers, and I could have taken a Warp Lightning to make up for that sort of AoE effect. But if we look at some of the values, one of these, the Globadiers, see, look, the Globadiers didn't even do that much, even when they were throwing into the Blood Knights that whole time.
They could have been switched out for something like a Night Runner unit, which has okay melee stats.
Mm.
And since they're going to be so close to Skrulk anyways, most stuff won't have the good melee attack, and they come with physical resist as well.
You can see here the
and also
trio
Night
gets some
Runner
really good
are-
damage value.
Yeah, pretty much everything that tried to fight them fucking died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, some good values on the Vargals. The Vargals managed to pay for themselves, but I think that's just because they knocked out the some of the Globadiers and the Warp Grinders.
Yeah, but probably you could drop the Globadiers, bring one Night Runner, and then use
Yeah.
the rest of them on either bring extra spells or...
Extra spell or so, maybe just buff up some of the infantry line or something.
Yeah, because Night Runners, you don't need them to shoot in all directions anyways, and they have okay melee stats.
Alright, moving on to the first replay here. So there's another Skaven versus Vampire Cat. Actually, let's see if we can find another one first. Oh no, there's a lot of... Okay, never mind, which is this one. Do them in order. I'll stick to the order this time.
This is an interesting match. This is also...
Looks like we're about to see an example of not using the box technique against their Vampire Counts.
Yeah, there is the hippity-hoppity get the fuck off my property technique.
Is this 2 Scabs Grace White King? Because I wonder as well. Can't see. You never use this too much, do you? You can look at it briefly, but once it reaches the halfway mark, you can't look at the unit cards anymore.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
It's
why.
really weird. I don't know if it's a bug or... don't get it.
I don't know either. I don't know what it is. Why that happens.
Why are we still here?
Why are we even here?
Just to suffer.
Oh, suffer.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, also we get to see the ROR Hellpit Abomination.
Yeah, I don't see that very often.
Yeah, at all. Also, a chieftain on a rat ogre.
Oh, is it a chieftain on a rat ogre? Interesting.
Yes. Tip, rat ogre pretty good.
Rat ogre pretty good, although Blood Knight pretty good at killing rat ogre.
That's true. Well, I think the chieftain gets a decent armor though. On the rat ogre,
Does
he's
it?
like 80.
Oh wait, it's not too bad, I suppose.
Yeah. And it's a armor piercing unit, so.
Yeah, but still getting surrounded by Blood Knight is not good for any large unit.
I'm thinking it's like if you ever wanted to bring like Throt, you could bring the chieftain as a bodyguard unit with his.
Yeah, to travel with him.
Yeah, and he's healable since he's on a Molder monster.
Alright then,
Because he counts with the Molder monster on the chieftain.
looking at these arms, first thing we have to check is, does the White Kings have Scabs Grace? Yes, they do. Very good. Unfortunately, in this situation, they won't perform too well because there's no Blight Scabs or Plague Monks, which is part of a mistake really on the Skaven side. Looking in the air, we can see we've got some Felbats here, obviously for disrupting those weapons teams and ranged units that there could be. A Black Coach, his only source of terror in this army, which, you know, it's pretty good. It's going to run through Skaven lines like really easily with its model and mass. So as long as he doesn't get it stuck in combat and he doesn't get it killed, you can just run it through and you can cause terror out to wherever he needs them. Direwolves, of course, just to sort of get in between and also to run off those routing units. Black Knights, it's just run down Skaven. It's running down Clan Rats won't perform very well against Black Knights. Blood Knights are there obviously to kill the large units like Hell Pit and Rat Ogres. Blood Dragon Vampire Lord can apply his Helm of Discord to an AoE around him. And he also has Van Hell's Dance Macabre, Raise Dead, and Invocation.
And really
pretty much the trio of spells you need for that. Yeah, of course he gets his really good spells, and he's also an anti-infantry, so he'll do well against some of those Skaven Footlords or Foot Heroes like there are over there. A bit of a split up of the forces here. On the right side we have a Corpse Cart with an Unholy Lodestone. Obviously you would normally take a Necromancer, but it's okay in this situation because he's already hit his hero cap with the 2 White Kings. So he's brought just a regular Corpse Cart. He has some Graveguard and some zombies here just to sort of act as a buffer. I mean, the Graveguard will chew through stuff while the zombies just sort of hold things in place. And another unit of Black Knights and another White Knight King. Yeah, that's the whole wide strategy going through again. This Skaven army is not really quite a box, but it is a oval. So it's definitely a tighter formation.
Actually, funny thing is he's got his slaves in the back while his Clan Rats and Storm Vermin are in the front.
Yeah, which is because those slaves will just run instantly as soon as anything charges them from the back.
Yeah.
So they're not going to protect like these warp fighters, you see.
Yeah, we got the Plague Priest on his bell.
Plague one, yeah.
The Chieftain, and I think, wait, his Lord is the Plague Priest. Okay.
Grace here.
He's got the bell.
Yeah, he's got the bell, not the Mortis Engine bell. He's got the 5 melee attack and 4 leadership buff. It's a pretty wide buff, so it definitely could prove useful. We'll have to see how it helps out. Has an assassin as well. Probably just act as that extra sort of hunting unit, maybe going after White Kings and such. And the thing as well, going crazy. Don't see that. It's just a sort of more yellow hell pit more than anything. It's not too special other things.
Yeah, other than its poison damage. And
yeah, and its weird ability that makes it a rampage. Yeah, it's not the greatest.
Which gives it even more melee attack.
Also, these sometimes not the greatest. Although in this map you might be able to get a good angle of fire depending on where he lines up. So we'll have to see if we can make full use of these. And that's about it. He also has the Counter Guard in the centre, just obviously to act as a guard unit for that Grace here and Assassin and such. Counter Guard are pretty much a must-have in this matchup. In most matchups, actually, Counter Guard are just such a must-have because they're just such a throw-off from the rest of you expect from Skaven. That like an unbreakable unit amongst Skaven. It's really not something you expect to see. Alright then, let's get this underway.
Let's get this battle underway. Yeah. Yes.
The lines approach. It looks like this, yeah, you can see this half rerouting back over here now.
Yeah, realizing that Skaven's coming straight to him.
Barreling down the hill, yeah.
No reservations. All in. Full gas. Maximum overdrive.
Things just kind of inching closer and closer, although an opening will open up if he goes any further where the cavalry could get through here. So he's probably just going to stay at this point, because this is the perfect point for him to be in here, where like can't get through there, that means the cavalry has to go all the way around in order to get into the back line.
Yeah.
Here we just see a standoff, because neither party's moving now. Okay, now that's giving him moving forward. This could prove a mistake if he's able to slide a unit through the trees there. First lines might be engaging. So.
Most of his army is infantry though, so apart from getting a cycle, like a rear charge, it's not super... Oh yeah, here's the...
Uses scabs great on Skaven slaves. Warp fire throwers not doing a ton of damage to Graveguard because they're not armor piercing.
That's a third of their health with one volley.
I'd say it's more like not even a quarter. I don't know if you ever got.
A quarter.
Yeah, about a quarter. About a quarter.
Yeah, that's like something.
It's fairly decent, but still that armor is helping them though.
Yeah, the armor is helping, and then.
And also now they're tied up. He should be getting these units in as quickly as possible while the warp fire throwers are distracted, because the weakness of the warp fire thrower is once you get into melee, they can't fire pretty much.
Yeah, because you can't shoot your own units anymore.
No, because Skaven are nice people. They won't shoot their own units.
They're
No,
nice.
never.
They would never.
Also, zombie summons showing the power of just
Dread
bringing. Dread 13th. Summon
being
of
dropped right on top of
those
the
Blood Knights. Yeah, it's definitely some good damage from those.
It catches the entire Blood Knight unit.
Yeah, it gets caught. Yeah, it's only like a few models able to try and slip out, but they're turning around again, so that could prove pretty detrimental. Here we can see the use of Raised Dead. Just you can summon it on any Skaven ranged unit, and all of a sudden it can't do anything.
Warfare Thrower shooting at the Black Coach.
How much armor has that Black Coach got? 60. I don't think they do that much damage to like single entities.
Oh, and there's the Scourge ability, wiping out a bunch of zombies.
Yeah, used on zombies, not the greatest use, but there isn't much else to aim at this point.
Well, at least cutting down the numbers is useful.
Yeah, Black Coach is sort of sticking in melee here, doing not what it really wants to do. It wants to try and get a bit of a move on. Because it wants to make use of that huge 109 charge bonus. Which is just massive. You need to be doing circles around the place pretty much. More summons. This matchup often ends in just the army of summons on each side. Because of the sheer scale of them you can get.
Exactly. The White Kings are fighting
The thing hasn't really done a lot right now, but it's still going there.
It was over on the left, and then it ran over here to fight, I think, the Lord.
Yeah. Those Blood Knights being out of the fight this much, like, already, is quite detrimental. Really needed those Blood Knights to deal with some of this large.
Yeah, and the fact that he uses a Dread 13th, it's an expensive spell, but it does a bunch of initial damage and summon a whole unit of Stormvermin.
Yeah, which I believe are actually start disintegrating soon here. Whichever way, where are they? They might already be gone. Oh, that was a good scab scrape though, through the those Skavens.
Yeah.
But of course, we have the Grace here. Bell is applying a good buff of melee attack and leadership to everything in range. These bats only just sort of getting into position.
Oh, and here comes the Chieftain just wailing on that White King.
Oh yeah.
Also the Plague, those Warfire Throwers are shooting at everything.
Yeah, Blood Dragon Lord's getting a real bad pounding from all these rat ogres at this point.
Yeah, he was at full health, and the Chieftain just immediately crumped him.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing this abnormally large amount of Skaven, like large and monstrous units, and he got his Blood Knights killed so early that it's really hampered him down. He probably could have been better off with like another Blood Knight unit or something.
Yeah, because the main issue right now is the fact that his monsters can run around, especially the Chieftain, because he's actually surprisingly reliable with attacks, unlike regular Red Ogre.
Oh yeah, you can see this Black Coach is taking a ton of damage as well.
Yep.
So there's just a lot of these high value units, the Blood Knights, the Black Coach. I can guarantee I just aren't making their value back at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, the Black Coach isn't really there to make value back. I think it's at this point just here to terror out stuff off. But it's taken so much damage that it's not performed its job really that much.
It's also too dangerous to just run it in now.
Yeah, not to mention the Blood Dragon Lord also taking a huge amount of damage. While the Thing and the Grey Seal Lord are still at full health.
Oh yeah, Fire Thrower is still shooting into the Black Knights and Blood Knights. I mean.
Yeah, look at it go. Still going.
Still going.
He should also try and get this this corpse cart in because it's not currently its radius of its buff isn't that large. It's probably not going to be having that much of an effect from that range. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Yeah, get into this blob where all your units are. The White King could be buffed, could be getting buffed. The just all these things that are in combat could be getting extra like 5 melee attack and 5 melee defense if it was closer.
Yeah, Warfire Thrower actually ends up
being
quite useful here.
Getting quite left alone here.
Decent damage against large targets if it actually hits. The problem is just getting it
hit anything.
Getting it to fire. I mean,
yes.
But
finally getting those direwolves in to distract them there.
Almost on a small hill and it doesn't even hit anything. So I think it had probably done more friendly fire than it actually does.
Actually, no, it did a decent amount of damage to.
So it just do a lot of damage to those rat ogres there. Pit fighters just took a lot of damage from that.
Yes, and also before to the other rat ogres.
Yeah, don't worry.
Acceptable casualties.
Acceptable casualties because the Blood Knights ended up disintegrating.
Well, he died in the air. He died just as he was taking off. Blood Dragon Lord going down.
I always imagine that it was just the Rat Ogre grabbing like the leg of the horse and whipping him into the ground.
Just throwing him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can see here just from the how often this matchup often ends is that it's only down to Skaven single entities at this point, and the Council Guard.
Yeah, so all my Skaven games end.
All Skaven ends.
Anyway.
Down to the 4 single entities here, which of course are the tough thing that Vampire Counts sometimes struggle to deal with. So it's always why they end up last usually.
This is where you need to have your caster life at the end of this game. or it likes in every game, because now you can summon like clan rats and just have them beat.
We think you get it well down.
Around.
So your single entities just like if you lose everything for like if you only have single entities of Skaven left, you will usually lose just because you're surrounded. But if you have like summons left,
you can use those summons to buffer, because the leadership is usually what you're waiting for. But it's not a bad idea to leave single entities of Skaven till last, because you can usually route them off at the end. But it's like when you run out of any units to kill them with, then it becomes more of a problem, because they're so high on their health with pull at this point, and also all the leadership tools are still alive, that they're just not going to rout, no matter how surrounded they get.
But yeah, I feel like this is a good example of the chieftain being useful on this red ogre.
Have to look at the values.
We haven't seen any replays of the red ogre chieftain. Which, we can look at the stats.
Did you have any?
Huh?
I thought you showed some last time with your builds, because I don't use the chieftain, so I don't have.
I know. Well, I used the chieftain on foot because usually I was using something like Skrulk or something on foot.
Oh yeah, chieftain got some pretty good value there.
Yeah, but
Depends where you
2043.
I should probably put him on a red ogre once in a while and just stick him with the.
Depends
other
if you're sticking him with a foot squad, then there's no point in there.
Yeah, there's no reason to put him on an ogre. Because he loses his anti-large at
Yeah,
that point.
you could see the warp 5 values here, the one that got left alone and the one that got killed instantly. Yeah, he probably could have taken out both of them quite quickly soon, but he left this one alive and it managed to get a lot of its work done.
Yeah,
Ogre's doing pretty good damage as well.
Step on their head to make sure they're dead.
The thing doing good damage
did really good.
didn't actually pay for itself though.
Pay for itself.
No.
But didn't pay for itself.
I think what he was using the chieftain on the red ogre for was pretty much to buff the red ogres nearby, because they have really poor melee defense, and his -5 melee attack might actually help.
Yeah, also because he's on his mount, he's able to keep up with like if like you're trying to get your vampire count lord to sort of skirmish in and out, he can keep up with it and stop him from getting away. Get some free hits. Ooh. Yeah, not an awful lot of value. Probably from there's just not a lot of awful value. I think there was just a value game that was lost at this point. Just the Skaven got so much more value than the vampire counts did that it was just a whittled down.
Counter me looks good. I would cut the coach honestly, but
yeah, the coach wasn't used. I think a Vargolf can perform better because you don't have to micro it as much.
I think the coach underperforms a lot.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Also the Vargolf also regenerates.
Yeah, so you can just leave it in. Yeah, because when you're fighting Skaven, then regeneration is the amazing thing. So. There's not much quick damage happening with that usually.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, good replay. What's the next? Actually, did I download 2? This one. Oh, is that it?
There's
wait.
2.2.
2.0.
No, 2.2. It's near 1. Oh no, wait. Then it's somewhere else in, because I know I sent you 2.2.
Did I download 2.2? Let me take a quick check. Let me take a raid check.
Yeah, probably the Blood Knights, since they're so good against Skaven. No, like they kill the rat ogres.
Yeah, they kill all that monstrous stuff that they can bring.
I mean, the thing actually does probably decent against Blood Knights, but like in general, it's like a hard counter. Also, if like you saw in the last session, if you allow the health pit to get away, like I did in my session against, I think, Sedain, it will usually get the healing proc that will basically fill it up to full health, and then it just gets a shit ton of value. I think even my Blood Knights killed it again, but it takes just ages.
Yeah.
And the thing's just like even better. Sorry, Tycho?
Yeah. Oh well. Actually, when I talked about how thing kind of it's really expensive for just free rampage and plus 20.
Yeah, it's like, whoa! I can send my thing into rampage. Amazing. For an extra huge amount of gold.
I no longer control it and can be dragged away from
the
army.
Ooh, Dark Elves.
Yes, it's this one.
Yeah, this matchup's pretty difficult for them.
Why? No.
Let's see.
Psycho, what did you do to me? Okay. Yes. You will notice something once the game starts. And in my defense, I was just dumb. Yeah, I can't.
That you have no bats.
They beat me fair and square with this.
All right.
I just like the logic behind it was I wanted to try the Crypt Ghouls against elves because like they do decent against Skaven. I just wanted to try them out.
Mm-hmm.
Just get a shit ton of zombies to tie up their shit. And then 2 Blood Knights, of course, just anti-large, can deal with any of the monsters. A shit ton to chase down Skirmish Kev, because he knew he was gonna have Skirmish Kev. And I really love the Black Coach. It will underperform in, like, I think it underperforms in every game that I bring it. I just love it. And I wanted to have, like, a bit of terror. And I took the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord because I wanted to show off different ones than the Lamian Vampire Lord, which I usually use because she's just awesome. Yeah, so I brought the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord because I figured, like, with the Blood Knights having some kind of, like, blob engagement, I can actually, like, outpace the Druki. Once we load into the battle, the 2 Necromancers are just mana batteries, because the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, I think he doesn't have any of the Arcane Conduit variants.
Yeah, he has no Arcane
So he has, like, a shitty amount of magic, like, really shitty, so I needed to. And as soon as you load in, you see what mount I put him on. Bolo will point it out, and he'll probably, like, cry about it in his...
Is that Hellsteed? Yeah, that was Blood Pegasus, I forget what they're called.
Yeah, the Hellsteed. If you look at what the Dark Glyphs brought, you will immediately see, like, every one of you will see why it was a better idea to put him on the Hellsteed.
I see.
And Rakat, and also the flying repeating crossbows.
This is one thing I need to point out, is that where you beat vampire count is you box. This is way too spread out. You just box. You just go in a box and you win, because they can't do anything to you. You go and box.
Yep.
Oh dear, I see this coming in. Anyway, you've gone through the Vampire Count army. Let's take a look at this Dark Elf army. Interesting. We have Rakarth on his Manticore with some of his special... I don't use Rakarth that much. I used him when he came out, and I don't even look at him in the same direction sometimes. So you can remove Terror and Fear from the thing. So I guess you can use that on the Black Coach, which would be good. He also has a Firecaster with Burning Head and Fireball. Raven Heralds, interesting unit. Frontline of Dread Spears. Backline of Blackguard, Blades of the Blood Queen, and another Blackguard, and some Skirmish Core out here. Triple Dark Rider. Yeah, so this is interesting.
I remember facing many Dark Rider with repeating crossbow against Alex.
Yeah, of course, this is why you have the Dire Pack and the Wolves for, is just to chase these off.
Let's see, is it always worth upgrading certain types of units to RORs like the Marauders and Berserkers?
Not always. Some are, some aren't. It varies.
Some are worth it, some aren't, like the Marauders upgrade, which it's a unit that has better stats in general, but the key thing is it has perfect vigor, meaning that it never tires out. For 600 gold instead, so it's 200 more gold, which is half the price of just another unit. While Berserkers, the 1,000 pounds of the Brute, is unbreakable, which is always useful, and it works great for how Berserkers are. They
Fireball coming in.
And they never want to stop fighting.
Blood Dragon Lord pretty much just running around the place. Oh no, why are you throwing a Black Coach into Blackguard? What?
Yeah, this is... I was constantly trying to get the repeater crossbows, so I mismarked with the Black Coach, which is why... yeah, this is not a really good game. I don't know if it dies here, but it will get really low.
It's really low, yeah. It's almost it's crumbling
I'm really
already.
Trying to because I need to run my my Lord away, because he's constantly rushing him with the Raven Hells, and I'm trying to get the repeater crossbows, which I think I'm actually managing to do, like, at least 2 of them.
Yeah, you managed to catch quite a few of them. I mean, this is the problem with sometimes vampire counts have, is if you just bring your Lord on a mount, sometimes you can just get overwhelmed in the sky like this. So you really need to focus on the sky sometimes.
I thought you would never do that much, because bring that much air power against the vampires, because... Well,
I forgot that the Dark Elves even have that flying unit available.
Yeah, it's a pretty unknown one.
Because it's never brought, but I think it might actually be a good one. In this case, Sedaine makes a slight misplay, because he sends in Rakarth, but I have Blood Knights.
Yeah, you've got that Helm of Discord as well activated, dropping all those stats.
But he will get away apparently, because I didn't quite like surround him properly. Unfortunate, but
Black Coach is crumbling at this point. Looks like it's going to die on its own, unfortunately.
Yeah. I think I put a heal on it, but it will die in a second. I think he's using. He's going to use a spell on it. I'm landing my Lord again, because I need to get him out of the air, because he gets shed on by a Rakarth if he's in the air, or at least that's what I thought he's going to do. I think I managed to get the last of the repeater crossbows now.
Dropping Van Hells down to Macabra on a unit that's not in combat. Nice.
Yes, because I was trying to catch the...
Yeah, you didn't do it though, did you? No.
No, I didn't.
Getting a unit of zombies back at... What is this? What is this? Amateur hour? Come on now. What are you doing like this?
You didn't even send in a replay.
I just used one, so I didn't have to send them in. I do them myself. I'm such a good judge of... Okay, there goes the black coach. Boom. It's down.
Yeah. But, let's see. Psycho Sanchez is a question about sometimes it's better to bring the RR. Like, with Skaven, you always bring the Council Guard, because it's...
Yeah, but you never bring the thing.
Yeah, if you go for Stormwind with Halberd, you bring it, but you don't... Like, sometimes it's just...
in general,
Halberds are very expected. The RR is really expected in a lot of matchups, and they don't have the most armor, so they will take a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this poor full blood knights. Are you just throwing him into blackguard? What are you doing? What are you doing?
No, I'm not throwing them in. He charged into me, and I needed to get onto the ground.
How is the balance of power this evening?
I mean, I don't have anything to kill the blackguard, so it's...
No, you really don't.
Yeah. Most of the others shit, but...
You didn't have anything to kill them to begin with, so...
In most cases, sometimes you don't need to upgrade a unit, or
you don't always have to. If you don't, yeah, you don't have. But it's definitely sometimes a good idea.
In the Empire session, there are a couple of examples where you don't upgrade. Like for example, the Tattered Souls, you don't upgrade them. The Flatulence, there's Tattered Souls, and
the Tattered Souls aren't that great, except for very specific situations where they won't get shot to pieces, like against vampires, where their -5 melee attack will actually be worth something.
Oh yeah, you've got the batteries back there. I forgot about those.
Yeah, it's just...
Well, Lord's dead.
Yeah, and this is it, basically.
Yeah, this was over a while ago. I think this was over at the start.
Yeah, this was over from the start, but...
Let it be known that Dark Elves do win this matchup.
Yep.
If they box, it's pretty much unkillable by Vampire Counter standards. Depending on what sort of squad you... Because Marathi, it's like you bring Marathi, a Death Hag, and... something else. I think a master, and then it's pretty much unkillable because it's just soul stealing.
Also, those flying repeating crossbows are...
Yeah, they're pretty good. I think if you bring...
So they can actually shoot at anything.
They actually beat bats in melee as well, so I bet you know bats isn't going to be able to chase them off.
But I think like just one bat unit could have been at least occupied it for...
Yeah, it could have occupied it for some time and kept them from shooting, but yeah, unlike the stupid awful Hawk Rider unit thing for the Wood Elves have, that has armor piercing and can kill stuff.
Why was there a unit over here?
Right. I mean, they're not even. It wouldn't be even there until the battle ends.
But why was it? Why was it there though? This was a poor display. Poor performance like this.
Psycho, we shouldn't use it.
Had Sedaine boxed, he would have destroyed you. Well, he already did destroy you.
So.
Look at those blackguard paying for themselves. Who'd have thought? 2,000 value on those. My god.
Yeah. Jesus.
2,000 on a cast as well.
I think if we would have like boxed, I could have like used less micro to keep my lord alive. So.
But it looks, it seems like him having such a wide army worked in his favor, kind of, because it means more micro for you.
Also means that like Blood Knights can go and cycle charge at the backline.
That's true. Yeah.
Probably all the value they got.
They didn't have really good targets. Like,
no.
No targets.
But they can. They're able to rear charge things already in like melee sort of thing. But if you have a box it, they can't do that.
But yeah,
okay, next game, like real.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, like can we get a better one, please? This better one. All right. So Empire versus Skaven. From the worst to the best. That was the worst. This one would be the best. You know, armies-wise, it's looking. There's a bit of a mixed Empire army, but a real mixed match of different things. A Beastcaster, which isn't a terrible idea against Skaven, because you can put him on a Griffin, and he also gets Manticore summons.
Yeah. Snitch with a Plague Priest,
pretty standard.
Yeah.
Plague Claw Catapults, pretty good. Against Empire.
Yeah.
Globeteers. Although has shielded clan rats, like I'm missing a bit of Skaven slaves, I reckon. I'd like to see some more Skaven slaves, but we'll see how he's deployed out. I feel like he's going to have a problem.
He doesn't have modes to protect.
Yeah, anything. Okay, yeah, he's going to really.
5 range units.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, look, you can just see here already at the start, nothing back here.
Literally nothing in the back. The only thing that could maybe stop them is Rat Ogres if you put the Rat Ogres.
Not to mention throwing Globeteers into shielded clan rats isn't exactly what you want to do. You'd rather throw them into Skaven slaves. But looking at his Empire army.
The thing is, with red ogres. You don't have. You normally pair them with some kind of spear, like clan red spear, or normally Skaven slave spears, because they don't take damage. Like they take damage very quickly, especially against like heavily armored knights.
26
charges very well, so
melee
you
defense.
just buffer it.
We're looking at Empire Army. We have a line here, but it's not too bad since there's nothing really can punish you in the Skaven matchup. Volkmar the Grim with his prayers was obviously in a tight box formation against Skaven like that. All those prayers are going to come in quite in handy. Amber Wizards on foot, just bring in the Flock of Doom and the Manticore summon.
Okay, I don't know if it's me, but I'm lagging a bit.
Lagging on the stream? How is it like us?
I'm refreshing it.
I'm gonna close my stream just in case. I mean, I was watching it as well, so I might be killing my internet. Am I downloading anything?
It's really lagging.
Let me kill some tabs, 1 second. Killing some stuff.
Plague Claw Catapult, shooting at the Swords of Sigmar.
Right. Yeah, shooting into those attacks, but look at oh yeah, you can just see. So you basically just got all you need against Skaven is this sort of damage front line of Swordsmen and Flagellants, because that's at the end of the day pretty much all you're going to be fighting. On the flanks, you got some Spearmen just in case he's going for like a Wolf Rat's flank or some Rat Ogre flank. Knights of the Blazing Sun and Empire Knights for flanking potential.
Just like basically images below, like it's not
is
in a video anymore.
It's a slideshow.
Yeah.
PowerPoint.
Let me try
right
something. Let me have a look. How is it now? Try refreshing the page.
Still a bit better. Yeah, now it's getting better.
It was just my internet dipped down for a second. Should be okay now. Let me know how it is then. So yeah, pretty ranged heavy on the Skaven side. He's got sharpshooters, bows, poison winds, and 2 catapults. That's like a lot of range. Probably, seeing as he's gone clan rat front line, probably could have gone without the poison winds. Rat Ogres, Council Guard, Snitch. Snitch does pretty well on this matchup, I find, with his netting thing for killing the caster or any lord, and his spinny attack, pretty good if he gets one by Cav as well, as I've learned. Also brings a Plague Priest with both summons and a Scrying Stone, and has some Wolf Rats out on the flank just in case of like skirmish Cav and the likes. Pretty good damage coming into these Flagellants and Sigma Suns. Firing at Volkmar.
One of the problems is that they're still no, they're not firing at Volkmar. They're just firing at the Swords of Sigmar still, when he should be targeting the Knights right now.
Yeah, the Knights are definitely coming out into the flank. Although Sigma Suns are taking them pretty. I mean, once you reach this much damage of a unit, they're like spread pretty thin. Yeah, like they're spread pretty thin, so now it's not worth shooting them at this point.
Yeah.
Like there's a full health unit of Flagellants here to kill as well.
If you got a Plague Claw Catapult and you've knocked out either a third or to half their health, switch targets, because you're not going to hit them anymore.
Should definitely be trying to take out these Knights, because he hasn't really got much in his army to kill them because of the Rat Ogre thing going on. Look at those birds. Look at that shadow. What is that?
Because the thing is, catapults can pretty reliably kill Knights if they aren't like moving erratically.
Yeah, so Sigmar Suns just forming column formation when they start getting into artillery range. Good idea. Oh, it should also be noted that we missed out Huntsmen in the back line. These will do really well against Rat Ogres and also like any Brood Horrors, because you know it's Archer Fire that's anti-large. So in case there's those hell pits or anything, those will tear through them really nicely.
And still shooting the infantry. And the crazy thing is that the Knights were just standing there. He could have shot them a while ago.
Those Knights of the Blazing Sun have taken a bit of damage from their things.
Slight misplay from Empire here. He could have charged the Wolf Rats and probably routed them off immediately.
Yeah, they would have died immediately.
And I think he tries to get the Rat Ogres, but the Rat Ogres are not a threat. And on the left, you see that the other Knights are just sitting there doing nothing. And they could have been in the backline.
These ones are only getting in now. Volkmar getting all his value there. He's getting a banishment onto those Council Guard. He's charged right through. He's disrupted those poison winds, and he's So Volkmar getting his maximum value. He's terror routed like everything on the front line, and because it should be noted Volkmar causes terror. So in situations like this, he completely destroys Skaven. Also a Manticore summon coming down, causing even more terror to the Skaven front line and Skaven range units that really need to be like freed up at this point. It's just that Skaven did not have enough chaff at this point. They've been completely overwhelmed. All those ranged units, these Plague Claw Catapults have absolutely nothing between them and the enemy. And the Council Guard are already nearly dead from that one banishment. Although Volkmar has taken a fair chunk of damage here. If Snitch is able to get him down, it could cause some more of the Empire stuff to rout. But we'll have to see how. But Volkmar can just get away, I think, unless he throws down a sigil. But he's probably already used his.
No, he already uses it.
So it's probably on recharge.
The Knights charging into the...
Plague Claw, yeah. Did throw down a Plague Monk summon down, but definitely does some damage to the Swordsman, but won't be available against the Knights. Sending the Manticore against Snitch is the idea here, because the Manticore's going to like go away anyway, so it doesn't matter how much damage he takes, and Snitch has low armor, and isn't immune to psychology, so there's a chance you can terror out him.
Yep, and also it does a lot of damage.
And does do a fair amount of damage to unarmored targets.
That's a lot of damage.
Throwing oh look at that Flay, you know when you're throwing poison winds into your Plague Claw catapults, something's gone wrong. And yeah, just you can see this overwhelming Knight advantage just pushing through, and he hasn't even touched the Huntsman in the back.
Like when the Knights came into range, or like after he destroyed that like one unit of Sigmar swords, if he switched his target to the Knights, probably would have had a better chance.
I think just some. It should also be noted that those Natty Buboes probably could have killed the Amber Wizard before the battle before the front lines engaged, if he had focused him down. So that could have definitely saved him a lot.
If I bring the Natty Bubus and try to snipe something, because I feel like, just my experience, they do decent against careful, like Natty, like basically Giselles do good against everything, but I feel like
they take a lot of time to kill them
quick enough.
Yeah,
like,
they don't.
They take single entities. They are snipers, so they kill single entities really good. They do probably decent against like expensive infantry with low model counts, but they don't do terribly well against knights or cavalry in general. In just my experience.
Yeah, so here just sort of like a mismanagement of targets and just not enough chaff, I think, was the main problems with this one. Not enough Skaven Slave spears for the Rat Ogre buffers, and just not very good Skaven Slaves in the front.
Target prioritization.
Yeah, that's what I said, yeah. Target mistakes.
The thing is, the Empire front line is all swordsmen and flagellants, which can be killed with just a Plague Breath. Plague Breath will kill all of that. And summoning clan rats on.
Yeah, it's like you can look at the frontline units here, none of them got like any value. They're not going to get any value.
Yeah.
They're not going to do anything helpful. But if you look at the Knights, the Knights just overwhelmed. Fogmire did amazing.
For Skaven players specifically, Knights are very dangerous because a lot of the time they don't have a good response to it other than me shoot, or in some cases, me stand here with spear.
Yeah, you can use spear, and a mixture of spear and Rat Ogres can help, but you need to make sure you get into that good engagements. Trying to avoid the charge bonus as much as you can.
Spears, Rat Ogres, and Warp Grinders is how you can.
Yeah, Warp Grinders, that's the one. Yeah.
Netting down a unit of Knights or two, and then countercharging them with Rat Ogres and Spears.
Or
is
throwing
Warp Grinders are also a really good way to stop Fogmire in his tracks. So I think Warp Grinders are like a pretty must-have in this matchup. At least one of those, probably two, would be better off. So yeah, it just works out very well, mixed with some Rat Ogres and Skaven Slaves.
Yeah. All right.
Next one. What was that one? Is that number 3? Yeah, number 3.
Yeah, this was number 3, so it's 4 now.
Another Vampire Count Skaven one. Let us begin.
Yeah, it's back and forth.
Liking the Vampire Count army. Skaven one though. Not so much.
Show this.
Anyway,
never mind.
I'm really liking the Vampire Count army. That one is like this is looking like the ideal Vampire Count army, pretty much.
You just like it
against Skaven. Yeah, 2 Vargulfs is what I like to see. I just like that.
Yeah.
So as long as those 2 White Kings have Scab's Grace, I think that's like the perfect counter Skaven army for Vampire Counts. I don't know. You could also go. I think you can switch the Lord out when it comes to this matchup, but the rest of the army is like perfect.
You're gonna love this replay though, Willow.
I mean, I'm looking at the Skaven army and I'm thinking, and I'm thinking,
Just wait, it gets better.
Okay, well, just looking through the good army, we have zombies front line, which is just the chaff, pretty much. You always want those. Skeletons are perfectly fine against Skaven. They'll go through clan rats fairly decently as long as they have the healing and the zombies to pack it up. 2 White Kings with they're on horse. Okay, that's interesting. I think you can just do just fine with them on foot. To be honest, 2 Scab's Grace between them. The Bats just there to tie up weapon teams and artillery and the likes, and the Vargulf's just there to terror everything and to be really good. And then also has the Blood Knights, pretty much just to kill Skaven large. Also has Kemler. Kemler has his item or his cloak. Doesn't have a sword though. Just has his cloak to stop him from dying. Can also summon up Krell. Now for this army, do you one of you two want to run me through this?
Yeah, well, you've got lots and lots of Skaven slaves.
I see that.
Hell Pit Abomination, and I think it's Snitch, right?
Throughout.
Or is it
It's Throat, okay. Along with Gorich.
Throat with Plague Priest and Gorich. With the Storm Vermin Council Guard, Rattling Gunners, 1 Clay Claw Catapult, and 2 units of Wolf Rats.
Yeah.
The stream is lagging a lot.
Is it lagging again? Oh, dear. I'll try something else. 1 second.
I don't know.
It might be because I did something.
Have you tried replacing your zombie that's holding up your router?
Yeah, I've tried that. He's still there. He's not holding it very well. What was the thing I did?
Exchange them against the Skaven slaves. They're usually more reliable.
Okay, well, it might be because I turned the resolution up before stream. Whoopsie. But I can't change it whilst we're streaming recording, so hopefully it'll be fine. It will just be the stream lag, and I'd imagine the recording will be fine afterwards.
You have 1440.
Yeah, pretty good.
Now it's back to normal again.
Is it? Okay, I'll just try and sort of keep it at a pace. But yeah, so we can get this battle underway now. You can see here the plague claws are remedy to firing at skeleton warriors, unfortunately. Because that's their best target in range.
In general, I wouldn't pick plague claw catapult.
No, I wouldn't go Skaven for play front line either.
Take a warp lightning cannon, but I would generally not take anything that gets shut down that easily because
especially like where it is now. One unit of knights could kill everything here.
Most of the regular weapons, like Warfire Throwers, Nanny Boo Boos, and stuff like that, all have very high armor and can survive zombies pretty easily. And require more concerted effort to get rid of. Also, as you'll see, he forgot a few units.
Ha! I mean, the bets will make. Yeah, he probably should move the bet up by now. The Vargulfs are coming in now, which is nice. I mean, it's not like he needs to tie up the plague claw with the rattling guns because they're not shooting anything important yet. But if he does, we'll make sure he ties them up at some point. Help it going into zombies. It probably isn't worth it. It's not worth him getting tired over zombies. You should probably just leave him out of combat for the main stay of it. Rattling gunners firing into the Felbats, but as long as the Felbats get into melee, that they've done their job pretty much. The Wolf Rats are trying to act as sort of a quick response team to clean off some of those Felbats.
Guns, wiping out, I think, half the Felbats.
Felbat unit, yeah, as they were landing.
Too bad they didn't shoot earlier, or they would have actually
maybe killed the whole unit
before it got there.
These Wolf Bats being functioned as a sort of cleanup for the Felbat. I'm not sure how well that's going to work out. Whether or not they're going to be able to do that much. They are regular Wolf Rats, not the poison version, so they're not going to impact the damage output of the Felbats. Not that they had that much to begin with, but yeah, here Vargulf coming in is just going to tear out everything here. Couple hits in. Plague Claw doing more damage to himself there at that point. Gorich getting into melee. Gorich will be good at killing the White Kings, but he probably doesn't want to get engaged with Blood Knights wherever they are.
Or the Vargulfs.
I think he could do okay against the Vargulf, but he probably might get a bit overwhelmed at this point. But yeah, you can see here the Vargulfs to tear out off those Wolf Rats, even though they've only lost like a third or a quarter of their health. Yep. Just the power of the Vargulf. Oh yeah, Blood Knight going to Gorich. That's exactly what the Blood Knights want to do. Although he is throwing down his spin attack there to do some more damage to him.
Yeah, so one of the Vargulfs is kind of standing there, but they're trying to beat on the Abomination.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if he had all of his White Kings and Vargulfs on the Abomination, he could kill it.
I think, yeah, he's got his White King, it's going to be freed up in a minute. He's got Kemler, and he's got Vargulf. I mean, Vargulf's aren't terrible. It says they have 290 weapon strength, but that's not bad. That's still pretty good, especially because they have very quick attack animations.
Yeah, they attack very often.
Yeah, which is the main reason why they have such a lower one and everything else.
And armor piercing, too. Because if it was regular damage, then yeah, it'd be awful. But armor piercing means that the armor isn't that much of an effect.
I mean, Skaven don't have that much armor.
Yeah, help it getting surrounded now.
Blood Knights are so good.
But you'll see.
Actually, the Blood Knights took a surprising amount of damage from Thrud, plus Gorich must have probably been.
Gorich's spinniness, I think, yeah. As well as
yeah, Gorich spin attack.
Just have a Sensi Large? Yeah, he's got a Sensi Large. Oh no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't got his anti-large.
No, he's not anti-infantry. Gorich is anti-infantry.
If Throt doesn't have his anti-large.
Oh.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't have it. Doesn't have it.
He just has armor piercing, 460 damage.
He hasn't brought the item. His item is the one that gives 16
He
bonus.
doesn't brought the item? Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty bad because it can give immune to psychology, so it'd be pretty good to bring that against Skaven.
Yeah.
Help it getting routed off here. Vargolf will probably be. Yeah, the Vargolf's just finishing off. Look, just look at how quickly they attack. That's why their weapon strength is as low as it is. Because how quickly they swing.
It's too horrible to die.
Yeah, but even though it's running now, so if they can keep it running, it'll be fine.
We're getting bounced between 2 Vargolfs.
Yeah, the Vargolf's just gonna. They're gonna get stopped by the counter guard at this point. The Vargolfs.
Yeah, but they have enough mass they could pull through.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so as long as they don't stay in melee with it.
Yeah, this is where a key problem happens. He can just keep chasing with the Vargolfs.
Yeah, because the thing is, I don't think the Vampire counts had actually that much mobility. They could have done it with an extra wolf unit instead of some of the bats, because these 2 units have run away. They could have been chased off, and also the fact that Throt has his healing ability, it means these could get really back up to strength quite quickly if he's not careful. He needs to take these out quickly before he can get the heals from Throt. Gorch especially.
Yeah, this is the key failure. Apart from like a number of other micro mistakes from the vampires, this is another big key mistake of just not finishing units.
Yeah, not finishing the job, not chasing things off, not killing them once they've run.
If you're facing Skaven, don't just leave their units. They will come back. They tend to.
Does that spin attack do friendly fire? Because if so, I think the counter guard just took a fair bit of damage. Help it standing around. Although to be fair, it has an excuse to be standing around because it has regen.
But also, I don't think he healed Gorich either.
No, he hasn't healed him yet. It could be. Oh no, he's healing him now. There he goes. Remolded is activated on him now. So he's getting, but he is quite in the thick of it right now. Although with him standing there, the counter guard are able to do what they need to do.
Yeah. Like right now, if he had chased off both those monsters, Skaven would have lost.
Yeah, they would have lost by now. They would have been long gone.
There would have been no way he could have won this battle at this point.
You can see here one of the weaknesses the Vargolf thrown to is they have really low leadership. This one's already started to crumble. He should probably try and run it away, get it to regen and get it to rally, and then get it back into melee.
Yeah.
If it's crumbling the whole time, it's going to be really bad.
Yeah. You gotta run it out, let it heal. Because the Skaven have nothing currently at this point that can really chase it, and anything that can will die easily to it.
Gorge getting slapped about the place. Thought coming in to try and help.
Surprisingly long.
Yeah, you also had no targets to actually hit.
Gorge goes down.
Yeah.
Getting quite claimed to. Oh, that Vargolf taking a huge amount of damage because it was just trying to push through those counter guard and wasn't making any progress.
Yeah, and crumbling and apart.
Yeah, completely gone.
Yeah, I don't even remember what happened to the Vampire Lord. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's still there. Kibler's still there. He's still dancing around the place.
They run over to fight some Skaven slave slingers.
Yeah, I mean, like, he probably wants to be getting rid of that. Considering Throt and Hellpit have regen, you really need to be engaging soon in this.
Yeah. This is a...
yeah, but the slingers would just do damage against the Vargolf, so like killing them off is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, he has the bats to kill them.
I don't think they would have killed them with the wolf rats that close, but now he's over chasing, and this is a bad idea. Because if he loses all his infantry, that's like the opposite of what the Skaven usually have against the counts, with no infantry, but now the vampires have no infantry left. So the Skaven can just regenerate their monsters and might actually, like with the council out, just regroup everything together in a giant blob and then death ball against the counts and hope that they outlast them.
Which they probably will, because the Abomination still has like half of its health with the healing cap. And Throt's still at full health and hasn't hit his healing cap.
Also, sorry, Psycho Sanchez. I just realized your question. Yes, Skaven are basically the default low leadership faction. Like, that's in the game, out of every faction.
Yeah.
And yes, terror builds are basically what you use to fight the Skaven.
Or fear builds.
Yeah, fear and terror builds are normally what you bring. Problem is, Skaven can bring like a couple of builds that are not that leadership dependent, like basically go Monster Mash.
Storm Vermin or Monster Mash, or bringing the Plague Pack to give Rabble Rouse. That sort of thing, right?
Yeah. Basically, the rebel rouse is the thing that you use to immune to leadership issues.
I know that we got some replays in the previous edition where one wears Chaos vs. Skaven with like Chaos Knights and Chaos Spawn, just completely falling over the Skaven by the sheer mass and also all the fear and charge damage that they do. And then there's the one with Norska, where 2 mammoths just bounce around the formation and just keep causing fear and terror everywhere. Where at a certain point, there's just nothing they can do about it.
It was quite a slog at
Yeah.
this point. On
Yeah,
this side
just
thing.
speed it up. I think.
Oh wait,
the
oh no, they
vampire player-
concede.
Yeah, the
Vampire
vampire player
conceded.
conceded.
What?
Yeah, because I don't think he's gonna kill Throt anytime soon.
Yeah, Gorich just got way too much value there. Not following through and killing Gorich, but he could have. Definitely cost him.
Yeah, same with the Abomination.
Yeah, Abomination as well. Pretty good. Although those range tools didn't really get any use out
That's
of
the
them.
first
on the
time
Skaven
I've
side.
ever seen Gorich get that much value.
Counterguard also got a huge amount of value because he just sort of stuck things into melee with them that shouldn't have been in melee
Yeah.
with them.
Instead of Runaway.
Yeah. Although this Vargulf did pretty good. This was the one that got caught out and killed, but this one performed very well. Blood
Yeah.
Knights didn't do that. I think that this Blood Knight did quite well, but I think don't know what happened to this one. Yeah, it got caught out. Must have got caught out quite early.
Because the question is,
the one kill got killed by Gorich and Throt together in melee.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that one
What about
performed
the
quite
other
well,
one?
so it was probably fighting Gorich.
Or I think he might have run him into the Storm Vermin with Halberds.
Maybe. White King's doing quite well, but they could have just done just as well as on foot, to be honest. So I think putting on those foot would have saved a lot of money.
And also, they would have been able to fight the Council Guard on foot pretty easily.
Yeah, and you can drop the Foe Seeker as well that way as well.
Yeah, and then you would have another like 600 gold, and you could bring
Yeah.
either more skeletons, more, just
Some
more,
more
of anything.
mobility, some more wolves, some cavalry or something like that.
Yeah.
Right, pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah.
Next one. Well, where's number 5? Am I missing just numbers? Just flat out missing numbers.
It's
Good
weird.
thing if you're going for if you're going for
We'll just go to number
terrible,
6.
you usually go for the Law of Death that has a spell that if you overcast it gives an AoE 16 leadership debuff. Was Doom and Darkness, I think it's
Or
called.
Darkness. Or no, Dread Knight. Dread Knight gives you terror on your units and 16 leadership.
Yes, but Doom and Darkness gives the enemy minus 16 leadership, which is
Yeah,
why
no,
you
it gives
have to
8
go,
leadership.
like,
Dread Knight
minus
gives.
8, okay, only 8. But
No,
an
no, no.
AoE effect,
Doom
which
of Darkness
usually-
gives minus 16, and then Dread Knight gives
Minus
plus 8.
16 and minus, yeah, plus, oh yeah, plus 8. But also Doom and Darkness reduces armor by 30.
Oh no, it doesn't. Just
Yes, it
it's just a it's 6.
No,
No,
it
you
only
think it's
gives
Soul Blight.
terror.
You think it's Soul Blight. Soul Blight does minus 30 armor. Doom of Darkness gives
Oh.
minus 16 leadership, and Dread Knight gives 8 leadership plus and also terror to an allied unit.
Yeah. But the terror to an allied unit would be very strong against
Yeah, against Skaven.
because you can cause terror routes.
To be honest, most things in the
Especially-
you're already causing fear,
especially-
and you've already got a lot of terror causing, so you don't really need it too much particularly.
And if you
Yeah.
look and see all the Skaven units are low morale, you could just pop it on something and watch them instantly terror route.
Soul Blight works. So just like you take something that already causes terror, and then throw Soul Blight on your enemy units, and it's just going to run instantly when it comes to Skaven.
Well, you're not Soul Blight, you're thinking of Doom and Darkness. You're
Yeah, Doom and Darkness. Sorry,
Darkness
those three
reduces
spells are
leadership.
so mixed up in my head now. You got me at it. Anyway, next replay.
Yes, Doom and
I was
Darkness
given
is the one
5.
that gives- Doom
Yes.
and Darkness gives you minus leadership. That's where you overcast it to get an AoE effect, and then you basically can instantly terror out most of the
Huh.
spells. If you're lucky, you can even terror out like clan rats and shit.
This Empire army.
Yes, this is a very interesting Empire army, and all sorts of why you do not box against vampires sometimes. Or just how to... what type of box you don't want to do.
Yeah, I was about to say, you usually always box against. But we'll see how this goes. I mean, there's a steam tank, so I can only imagine.
Well, the other thing also is that sometimes you don't want to box, because if you have capable cavalry or very heavily armored cavalry, you can usually survive the Blood Knights, or at least deter Blood Knights from attacking your backline. Because again, if you can kill the front line, then you're probably good to go. Right? Yeah, this is a very, very boxy box. Like,
Interesting.
don't...
Okay, for Vampire Cat army, pretty good. Chillgeists kill like Griffites and Demigriffs. Diapack chase off Skirmish Cav. Blood Knights kill anything large. Front line of just zombies and skeletons. Stonesmen will kill pretty much any infantry that isn't greatswords. 2 White Kings, both with Scab Scraith for archers, I'd assumedly. A Blood Dragon on a horse with his Armor Sundering and his Helm of Discord, along with the 3 trio of vampire spells you normally bring. And for the Empire army, you have 2 Witch Hunters, both of which with Accusation and the Ward Save.
There we go, that's better.
Steam Tank.
So,
front line.
Steam Tank, 2 Witch Hunters.
Yeah, two Witch Hunters, obviously both giving Accusations.
Yeah, which would, I guess, be useful against like Blood Knights because you can use it on singular units.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And immune to psychology, so... But the problem is that their magic attack is only, I think, limited to their bullets.
Yeah, it's just that... Oh, no, it's both. They get in the melee attack as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, the magic attack is actually nice versus if you bring, like, Banshees or Crypt, like, or Hexrace and stuff, and you want to do damage to those magical units. Balthazar Gelt, because metal lowers...
No final transmutation there.
Yeah, no final transmutation. Very disappointing. We've got a bunch of artillery and
2 mortars.
Archers.
Mortars against Empire counts. You don't really need that.
Yeah, you don't really need that because none of the infantry is worth shooting at.
Spearmen, halberdiers, spearmen, halberdiers, crossbowmen.
Halberdiers actually have pretty okay morale though.
Yeah, halberdiers will do okay, but if they run into Graveguard, the Graveguard are gonna have a field day with them.
Yeah, like legit, if he just switched out the halberds for just a bunch of great swords to chew through the front line, that would have given him a far better chance of winning.
Yeah. We'll see how this goes. Interesting. Okay, well he's dropping Searing Doom on zombies, so...
Yeah, this is,
I don't have high hopes.
Oh, but he got some of that damage on them.
He's killing those skeletons, that's for sure.
Yeah, that'll show
Not
him.
even skeletons, it would be skeletons.
Skeleton spears. Mortars actually killed a lot of skeleton spears right away. And also the...
Was he firing at a White King with mortars? He is. Aha. Yeah, okay. Who sent this one?
This is Shogunate.
Yeah,
I mean, he just wants a show of him winning. I mean, this is a good vampire camp build. Can't blame him. But this army is something else.
But this Empire army, this is like...
oh, actually, this is going to be good. Never
of why you don't do a box like this, where you're entirely relying on range.
I mean, a box like this ain't too bad, but when you've got range that is mortars, which are terrible against vampire counts, crossbow which don't really do anything, and 2 witch hunters, which are outside of your box, and a steam tank, which is also outside of the box, and then you've got Balthazar Gelt without final transmutation or any sort of AoE buff to apply to that box. It's not even... It's just a bad play.
Yeah, like if the witch hunters were inside the box with the steam tank, he could give them the actual morale boost that they need.
Yeah, he also has nothing really to benefit.
Also,
Like he's got no AoE
are
buffs.
shooting the White Kings as well, because you see him like he's just running them around in circles, and they're shooting at the White King, and they have silver shields, so they block half the missiles.
I think the idea from the Empire was to send the steam tank up and then have the box around the steam tank, which is kinda like a bit happening, and then he bombs the mortars. But this relies basically on your enemy being
pretty nice trap there.
Oh yeah,
pretty
also,
nice trap. No, pretty nice trap there from. I mean, he's killing Balthazar Gelt. Balthazar Gelt's probably going to die, but he's going to kill 2 units of Blood Knights with it as well.
Yeah, this is a pretty good cast of the Gold Hound things.
You have to ask: was that worth it? He lost his lord, but he killed about 1.5. No, not even
his lord and his caster.
Yeah, so it probably wasn't worth it. It was a good trap, but it wasn't worth it. The bait was too expensive.
If he had some basic Empire Knights and did that, that would have been entirely...
Or just threw some basic hero in, like maybe some, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like maybe one of those witch hunters, yeah.
Oh, and here's the zombie summon.
Yeah. Also, why you shouldn't box is if you see Willow has no perfect angle, like half of that shit is not fighting. You're fighting
I don't even know where that one's going.
Yeah, like, also the other player isn't reacting to what's being attacked. Like, he could just take the archers and move them back and set up the spearmen in front of them to act as a second line because, well, the horsemen can't get them.
He's also, he's going armor sundering on the steam tank there. I mean, he already has 130 armor, but I'd recommend getting those chill guys onto that steam tank. It's like the perfect target for them.
Yep. because they have armor piercing, and the steam tank doesn't really do a lot of damage to
No,
shit.
yeah, no, it really doesn't. It also has really low melee defense, which is perfect for the Chillgeists because they're not actually that good stats.
And also,
so it's the ideal target for them.
It used none of its ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
I built box.
You don't want to blob up on it too much because obviously it's just going to get like bombarded on it. It's like a perfect bait target again, but.
But the problem is he has no cannons to kill the cavalry that try and go in.
Probably want some, like, ideally you want to get some cav around the back here and like chase off all these weak and routed units. I think he's noticing that now and sort of getting some of them around, but it would have been nice with, like, it's in every unit of hounds. I don't know what happened to it, but it's dead now, I think.
But to be fair, the halberds are holding together really well.
Yeah,
like,
for state troops, they do pretty well.
You know, the sad thing is, like, if he had Balthazar Gelt still alive and his witch hunters in his like halberd blobs, this would be a much harder fight.
I do wonder where the Sternsmen. Sternsmen, they're probably gonna have a field day against everything that's left.
With the exception of the halberds who have armor piercing.
They have armor piercing, but they're anti-infantry, so, and they have regen, and their melee attack isn't good enough to really do much to the high melee defense of the Sternsmen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 45 versus 26.
Yeah, it's pretty rough for them, even with their armor piercing.
Yeah. But there's a lot of halberds, though.
I mean, Sternsmen have regeneration, a lot of healing cap.
True.
Also, I think they still have Scab's Grace left. Scab's Grace, look at these perfectly lined up Scab's Grace. They're going to be really good.
I know. That's what I was wondering for a while. It's like,
yeah,
I just use them in the back to kill another unit of halberds.
Yeah, you take all of the melee infantry that's left for the Empire. I think the two White Kings and the Sternsmen could kill it all.
Yeah, because without Balthazar Gelt or the Witch Hunters, because if the Witch Hunters were by the Sternsmen, they could use Accusation and kill them.
Yeah, lower them down.
You see a Witch Hunter is just running away.
just legging it. Yeah, because the Accusation gets minus 24 melee defense and also some less armor as well.
And you can stack it onto the same unit as well, so you can just stack up those abilities and just
You can't stack twice accusations. You can't stack the same.
No, you can't stack the same ability.
Dang, alright. Yeah, but still, minus 30 armor is still pretty big.
Yep.
Yeah, but I think I can see how this is going to go. Steam Tank's going to die and then he can just sort of cycle charge Hex Race in and out into the backs of engaged halberd units. And yeah, you can just see how low those units are getting. Like one touch from their Chillgeist and they're gone. Oh yeah, everything just army losses instantly there.
Yep, armor loss instantly. But yeah. Try and do a tight box like that without actually moving your box around to...
Yeah, and have some like half decent units. Like, not a Steam Tank for one, and not mortars against vampire counts. Not even crossbowmen against vampire counts.
Yeah, because the thing is, the problem with the crossbowmen is that they don't do enough damage and they don't have, like, they're not...
You also have to think, like, what's their ideal target? Okay, it's a Vargulf, and that's it. Yeah, so, if they don't bring a Vargulf, they've got nothing to shoot at, because everything else is too armoured, or too quick, or too shielded.
Yeah. Actually, even then, Vargulfs are just so fast that they just run in.
They can probably just run through and destroy them. Like, maybe you bring one unit of, like, Silver Gunners in terms of ranged infantry, but that's usually about it.
Yeah, Silver Gunners would be fantastic.
Silver Bullets even. And some Free Company Militia, because they can actually, like, last in melee if they get caught out as well.
That too. And since they're not armor piercing, and most of the vampires, except, like, the cavalry
Vargulfs and stuff.
Yeah. Anything that you want to shoot at is already unarmored anyways.
Oh, we got another Lycus game. I hope I get to laugh at it again.
Which one is this?
This one.
Oh, wait.
Chemist vs. Tomb Kings.
I mean, if you would have read the chat, which I put it in, you would have known.
Yeah, I know.
I don't read the chat. I just let Psycho send it all to me. Don't be silly. I just let Psycho organise that for me.
Yeah, there will be some micro errors to look forward to below, so.
Yeah.
Especially if you watch the lady.
Lamian lady.
Yeah, this was pretty interesting. It's I guess the pitfall of the Tomb King's sepulchral stalkers of but they do so much damage to large. Yeah, but their range is too short, and
they do a lot of damage.
They do a lot of damage, but the problem is that they're such short range that they can be played around.
Yeah, your Shakti Great Bow are way better. I was really scared about the Shakti Great Bow. Okay, so the idea behind my build was double Necromancer on the
no regeneration.
I put them on the because they don't have anything. Like one Necromancer's on the Unholy Lodestone,
and
the other one is on the basic Corpse Cut. Just because I wanted to combine the Corpse Cut and Necromancers, and I saw.
You couldn't. So, can you just put regular Corpse? Can you put the Necromancer's ability where he gives regen to everything in range? It's like really cheap. It's like really. Why would you not?
But that's only when he casts.
No, it's not. It's constant.
I have to check that. But anyway,
not the vampire lore thing. I mean the passive that gives 4 regen to everything in range.
Yeah. I'm not a meta bitch like you.
That's just a good thing to bring. It pains me. It's so bad at this game. Like it's when you play anymore.
Shut up. Okay, I brought Crypticals because I figured they would kill most of the Tomb King's infantry, except for Tomb Guard pretty well. Sturmsmen, and then double Blood Knights, double Black Knights, because I figured I need more to kill Tomb Guard. And I think 2 Hounds to chase down the archers. I expected some skirmish archers, the skeleton archers.
Yeah, skeleton.
Did you?
Variant. Yeah, skeleton horseman archers.
Just so I have something, and if not, there's still Hounds that can chase down shit.
Lamian.
And the Lamian Vampire Lord, because I love her. She's the perfect Vampire Lord. I think Pendulum, of course, healing, zombie something.
Nope, no Pendulum. Enfeebling Foe.
And Enfeebling Foe, because I figured I could debuff the monsters enough to actually do damage to them.
Yeah.
For my Blood Knights.
Tomb King army. Looking like we got some skeleton warriors in the front line there with Kepperguard. Kepperguard do real nice against all that chaff. I think they even beat Sternsman.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think they beat Sternsman. Yeah, but so does Sternsman. But you know, Eyes of the Desert. If they counteract the charge from Blood Knights, they beat Blood Knights. I don't know about regular Sepulchral Stalkers, but I definitely know the Eyes of the Desert definitely do.
Sepulchral Stalkers' regular stats are too low to beat Blood Knights.
If they ignore the charge, I think they win. If they get the counter charge, they do win.
If they don't get charged, they'll win.
Yeah, but obviously if they get caught out, they can take quite a bit of damage. A Casket of Souls, guarded by a Tomb Guard with Halberd. Archon on foot. Okay. Sphinx of Yusef.
That was the one big questionable one because Arcan is not a very good footlord.
No.
He doesn't have great stats for being a footlord and dies really easily.
Yeah, real quick.
You either want him on a horse to be very slippery, or you want him on your chariot to be
you just never put him on his chariot. You just put him on a horse.
His chariot's like
it's half decent, but you're getting caught out with Blood Knights, so you're gonna get die instantly. So yeah, put him on his horse.
Yeah.
Also has the Necrotect with healing, of course, for the Sphinx of Yusef, or maybe some Sepulchral Stalkers.
Against vampires, you would never put him on his chariot because
Yeah, you die instantly. Casket of Soul can definitely do some good damage to those Sternsmen, and obviously Blood Knights, so it can definitely do well in this matchup.
But honest, even if he's on his chariot, he'd still have a better chance of
than on foot, yeah.
Yeah, that's my point.
He's gonna charge into these skeletons.
The halberds and have him not get gooned out by.
Maybe the perfect bait though if they can get a good volley on. Right now they're not firing because they might hurt their precious skeleton brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good trade for the vampire counter, I think. Nearly knocking out a skeleton unit for the low price of like 2 models.
I didn't see the Eyes of the Desert, by the way. That's why I charged in.
Yeah, it's the trap. Symmetrical. No way you could use one as well.
That's not the value that he could have had.
As we pointed out before, if you have non-spear wielding infantry that's just standing there, charge your shock cav into it because they don't get the block bonus against it.
I see. So zombie summon here so that now they can charge into the Sepulchral Stalkers, and that charge bonus is probably going to kill them.
Yeah. Also, I was going to say that point out that because he didn't have guard mode on and ran his Sepulchral Stalkers past his skeletons completely.
Then they get caught out like this, yeah.
It's actually not killing them. This is why I'm so.
They're really dead. They're really dead.
Oh,
yeah, but they are still gonna survive this.
Black Sun veers off into fucking nowhere land.
Yeah, nice, good. I mean, it did okay. I think it did some damage to the Blood Knights, but not that much.
It did some damage.
Spirit Leech on the Lamian. An overcasted one. Like if he was on a horse, he could have just got close enough for a regular one really quickly.
Yeah, that's.
That was really bad. Oh no, that casket is really. Oh, actually no, it's got pretty guarded. Caskets don't die as quickly as you think they might do, so.
Yeah, they're.
They can last quite a long time. They have a fair amount of health.
If you've got infantry nearby, they can just slip through into them.
Yeah, they have a weird sort of mass to them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the casket so it doesn't shoot my blood knights.
Yeah, because when those blood knights sort of blob up on the charge, then they can be an amazingly good target for a casket volley.
Yeah. If the casket was firing on the knights, probably would have.
Lamian taking another spirit leech.
This is where I do the micro error, because the Sepulchre Stalkers, the one that are healthy, are shooting shot at the Blood Knights, the Lamian Vampire Lord, and I think they're gonna take her down quite a bit. It was a spirit leech actually, okay.
I think also at this point you start deciding, I think after towards, because I know there's some point where you just start using your Lord and attacking Arkin.
You can just see that, but yes, Lamian distracting the Stalkers, and then the Blood Knights just destroy them on the charge again.
The problem was always that the Sphinx of Usep, I didn't have anything to tie down. It could have thrown in Black Knights, but I didn't want to at that point, because there's still like mass that I could throw in.
Blood Knight's looking pretty bad there.
It's really difficult to pin in and actually kill. I see her coming in, that's why I'm trying to get the Lamian Vampire Lady out, because I did the blood, like, rather kill Blood Knights than the lady.
As we can see, Arkin is all alone.
He just sat there.
Alone, but like I have nothing left at the moment, and I think
these Tomb Guard halberds really stuck into the things they want to be fighting. So.
Not killing Arkin.
Should really just let an Arkin live. Let him go.
Yeah, Arkin's trying to run over to help like the Sphinx and the Scorpio Stalkers. Like I don't know, like.
At this point, I think I'm trying to goon out the casket.
Yeah. But I know at one point Arkin gets separated again, and then you're able to just realize, wait, I can just hit him and cyclocharge him into the ground.
Yeah. I'm trying to get the Sphinx separated from the rest of the army at the same time to goon it out with the Blood Knights, but they actually don't do a good damage.
Yeah, they can't kill it because it's just way too much armor.
No, she's killing. They're killing Blood Knights at the moment, but Black Knights at the moment, I think, not Blood Knights. So I think Sedaine was just targeting the wrong units. And then I try to send in the Blood Knights a bit too late, which is why I said micro errors at this. And they pile onto, I think, probably the Tomb Guard with halberds, so they don't do really good damage.
Yeah, Arkan just standing there,
just chilling out, having fun. Going for a wild ride. Finally, he goes after him. Took him a while, but finally, decides that maybe he should try and kill the enemy lord.
Because the funny thing is, just the Lamarian Vampire Lord was able to kill Arkin the entire time.
Yeah, he was a real dangerous position. Yeah, oh boy, look at this. These necromancers could be given so much regen at this point. So much regen. There's two of them as well. They could be given so much regen, but no. There's no regen.
It doesn't stack Willow, so.
It does. Well, you need at least one of them. You only have. You haven't even brought the extra 4 regen. Neither of them. You brought the 2 regen from the Unholy Lodestone, but you didn't bring the Necromancer special thing. Have you not watched our army building guide, Lycus? God, you need to look it up apparently.
Watch the vampire counts because.
Oh, there goes Archon. He's dead. Should have died 5 minutes ago, but.
He should have died a long time ago.
Yeah.
Because he was always just by himself in this thing. He wanted
but the Sphinx was usually around him and not pinned in until now.
Yeah. No, the Sphinx could have ran out at any point in time, I think.
Yes, but the Sphinx could have killed the Lamian Lady really.
Yeah, when it comes to the Sphinx of Usep in this matchup, you basically have 2 choices. You either bring 2 Terrorgeists and murder it, or you just leave it till last and it dies.
Yeah, but I was thinking because whenever he's standing by himself, you hit him once or twice, because all you really need is the charge bonus, where you do a bunch of damage.
Yeah, you can hit him once or twice, but if you're not careful, then he just dies to the Sphinx.
Yeah, but my point is the fact that the likelihood of your character being trapped by an Arcan who is
a zombie?
by himself
that was a waste of effort on a zombie.
Is unlikely. Sure, yeah, if it was Arcan when he's stuck beside the Ushepti, yeah, totally. That's not a good idea to attack that. Alright, we can probably speed it up at this point.
Yeah, there's nothing happening anymore, I'm just
I'm gonna go for some cinematic shots, look at this. I mean, you can easily wait for the stream to catch up, but there are cinematic shots on the screen right now. There's a Necromancer. Nice. Some nice cinematic shots. Oh, there it goes. It's gone down.
Yeah. Oh boy. There we go. Yeah, and it pretty much disintegrates. Yeah, Blood Knight's getting value.
So Crypt Ghouls did okay. Your experiment of the Crypt Ghoul thing seemed to work out okay.
Yeah. They bonked the
I think
skeleton.
the lady actually paid for herself.
Well,
Yeah, she's one of the
kill
cheapest. She's on the
Arkan.
cheaper side.
Yeah, and also killed Arkan too. I think most of that value is just from her killing Arkan.
Almost damaged the Kepler guy. I think they were fighting zombies exclusively. They did so much damage, but didn't get like any value.
Yeah, Lamian Lady is more of a support, like counts.
I think she has like high melee defense but low melee attack. Let's have a quick look see.
Yeah, she also has AoE debuffs for the enemy and then just a small buff for herself. She's more of a support character, which you normally don't want from your Vampire Lord because they can kill shit so easily.
Yeah, I think she has high melee defense instead of melee attack. Yeah, she's a 55, 56, 60 even. And then you stack that on and like with her buffs that help her. But yeah, if you see here, Necromancer, ability, Master of the Dead, constant 4 leadership per second. See that, Lycus? You got that written down? Good.
But
you
yeah,
stack
also
that with
you'll
that.
notice that the Lamarian Lord it actually just has simply better stats than Arkan on foot. It's hilarious. Our Arkan dies so easily.
Arkan's just terrible on foot. Where is he? Yeah.
Give him something he can run away with.
He's just infinitely better on the horse in all regards. Gets more HP, but most importantly, he gets some really good speed.
Yep, he gets the speed necessary to run, and the chariot makes him really fast, but it's not very good against vampires because of the fact that Blood
Get caught up in cav, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, unless you have something to protect him. So replays.
Skaven versus Wood Elves. Oh no, wait a minute. No, that's a different one. This one.
It would be 8. Yes, that one.
Yeah, there you go. I don't play this matchup too often.
We play 8. Shit.
You only got half an hour left.
Going through them.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, I know.
Berating Lycus for being bad at the game. You're just like on a sleep week or something like us. Like, my god, what are you doing in these games? I thought you were like a mentor. I thought you were like
except for
the first game, and I won. So there.
Yeah, but
was it against another noob and quick battle?
I mean, compared to other people on this replay list, it wasn't that bad. Lycus bad. I thought Lycus was like the second best on the server. No, actually, that's third best as Hour still.
I haven't seen Alexis play in ages, so I don't.
No, Outer, not Alexis. Oh, then again, I haven't seen him play in ages.
But
I mean, there was Ulrich, but I beat him, didn't I? Because I'm champion.
The actual Discord tournament match, right? Lycus, you told me? Well, that's what the name said on it.
Lycus has no idea what you're talking about.
I think this was in our small like monthly Warhammer tourney where you can jump in for the next month. I think I'm gonna start the registration next on the 5th probably, or maybe before. And then the next month starting. Okay, so it was I think the second game out of a best of 3. And well, first off, Willow, you're really lagging out again.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
it'll be fine on the playback. Just ignore it. I'll change it after the stream.
Okay,
but
so
playback will be fine.
Okay.
Yeah, just sit still for a second so I can talk about this game. And also pause, please, because it's a really fast game.
It's paused, and I've zoomed out.
Alright.
Okay, so the Skaven army. Really love the Skaven army. Except for maybe the Lord. He has brought Icket on foot, which Icket on foot is an anti-large character. I think the idea was probably to kill like Orion because you can bring him in this matchup.
But
will he beat Orion?
You could probably bring him on a Doom Wheel and he'd be fine.
Will Icket on foot beat Orion? Will he?
You will see throughout the battle if he beats him or not.
Oh, interesting. I mean, he does get 67 against large.
Okay,
No.
army. Basically, he has 2 Storm Vermins. Really good. They hold against Dryads. They hold against Eternal Guard. They won't beat Eternal Guard necessarily really hard, but
Won't they?
Still, I don't think they will. But
they have enough melee attack to actually hit them. So
But like 2 poison wind globadiers, really good. 1 poison wind mortar, also good. Just kills the archers if you can protect it. 2, I think Skavens have slingers, are they? Or
Yeah,
I think Skavens
no, slingers.
just to have some
slaves.
cheap stones to throw at the enemy. They would have so lightly armored. They do really good.
Who doesn't love stoning the enemy?
Yeah.
4 wolf rats. Some were hidden in the forest. Also really nice. You need a lot of wolf rats.
1 poison, 1 regular. 1 poison, 1 regular.
Yeah. And just some spears to buffer. Maybe he went a little bit too expensive. He doesn't really have that much infantry, and the problem is why this might come into play is because he didn't bring a caster, so he didn't bring a plague caster, so he has no ability to summon more clan rats or more plague monks to the field. So this might come to bite him.
Looking at the Wood Elf army,
so he has pressure.
Yeah, he does have the pressure from those. Looking from the Wood Elf army, of course, Dryads is really all you need against the Skaven. You're just going to want to chew through that front line as quickly as possible. The thin formation means they don't take that much damage from range, except from Globadiers and Poison Winds. In the back line, Deepwood Scouts do really well against any of that Skaven large, and also can pick off weapon teams pretty well on their own. A Branch Wraith with the melee attack buff, along with a Pendulum. Pendulum doesn't work too good against Skaven, but in this situation against Storm Vermin, I think it should definitely get its money worth. Earthblood's just for the healing. Others Trickster Shard, because you give minus 22% magic resist to everything, and Dryads and the Branch Wraith all deal magical damage. Could have also gone for Deepwood Scouts with Shiver Swords to make even better. Shiver Shards even, to make even better advantage of that item. Orion, because Orion does cause terror, and for some reason. I don't know why he's that scary, but he is for some reason. He also has his charge bonus horn, which there isn't an awful lot of charge bonus to make use of apart from the Wild Hunters in the back. The Dryads themselves don't have that much charge bonus, so it won't have that much an effect. Probably could have done without it. Also has the Hound spell, because you can just throw that into a Skaven mess and watch it go, and of course also has the Envy Gen and the damage resist from his amulet. Has the Wardens of Sithwell back here. A pretty good target for Poison Winds. Not sure you need something that expensive to be guarding your backline. Like, the worst thing you're going to probably come against is Wolf Rats, and in a situation like that you want more instead of like one sort of focused expensive unit. Also has the Wild Hunters in the back, which is just another amazingly good destroying of Skaven large, although he probably wants to bring it around the flanks more than he wants it in the back line like this. Anyway, let's get the battle underway. Firing mortar rounds into the Dryads is just really what you want to do. You want to try and limit as much of those Dryads as you can, because they'll chew through most of the front line apart from the I don't know, will they beat Vulcan Tail Lashers? You probably know this, like us.
No,
they don't.
Will
beat Dryads, will they?
Yeah, they will.
At 22% damage.
Fire damage is just enough
to push it over.
And they're solid stats because they actually have significantly better stats than Dryads.
Yeah, that makes them pretty good in this matchup then, probably. Yes. Pretty worthwhile, I'd say. Poison Winds as well, of course, doing all that damage into the Dryad line. They're just going to run right into the Skaven Slaves. Although a good Pendulum coming down, we'll see how much damage that does. Although they move just out the way in time. Although it does hit those, it does do half the damage off those Vulcan Tail Slashers. Ikit firing, just firing straight into the Skaven Slaves because you don't care. It's Skaven Slaves. You want to do as much damage to those Dryads as you possibly can. Although when it
stream, like, I mean, for me it's not even moving. It's just
it's not even moving, is it?
So I don't know what you've done. I've even turned off.
What even happened?
And it's not. It's still stuck on screen by screen.
Let me try mag, because I don't think I can even change this.
Yeah, putting it to 2550 by 1440 was not, and 60 FPS was
maybe I can lower the FPS. Choice. Yeah, I thought maybe I could handle it. I can't handle it. Turns out I cannot handle this.
Sometimes it does, and then sometimes it fucking
dies. Yeah, that's okay. I'll note that for future reference. Although at least the recording quality probably look really good. Hey? It might just take really long to upload as well.
Oh, now it's moving normally.
Smoothing out a little bit, is it?
Yeah.
How's it look? Is it okay? Okay, well, I'll just keep playing from this point onwards.
Relay and see what it works.
Eternal Guard rounds going into the Poison Wind mortars. Oh, Wolf Rats though trying to catch those Deepwood Scouts, but the Eternal Guard, the Wild Hunters of Kurnos are coming to answer. Though there's quite a few Wolf Rats, whether or not you'll be able to catch them all out, we'll have to see. Although if you're getting that rear charge onto those Wolf Rats, it probably means they're going to rout quite soon.
Yep.
Though it is worth it, being able to keep the... oh, it should also be noted, we kind of forgot to mention, that there is also a huge army of Glade Riders with spears in the back line. They were hiding in the trees. Just the riders of Rohan have appeared over the horizon to act as that flanking force in the back line, which, considering how vulnerable these units are now, they are some pretty good targets. Oh my god, that one Orion, did you see that? I got that record. There's an Orion spear that went through 3 poison winds and completely destroyed them. That's a really nice Orion spear. Warp lightning coming down, I don't think that's going to hit much. Oh yeah, I didn't hit an awful lot that warp lightning. Just a lot of the Skaven stuff is spread out, which is exactly what you want when you've got the mobility advantage from the Wood Elf perspective, so it could pay them off if they don't sort of get together quite quickly. All their range has been like destroyed apart from this one unit of Globadiers. So things are looking great.
Skaven could still win this really easily if they group up.
Everything.
Yeah, they just need to group everything, yeah, because everything's so spread out. And like you're going to see these Globadiers going to get caught out by these Glade Riders at this point.
Throwing away like 2 wolf rats at the start, or maybe 2.5 wolf rats, is really gonna hurt.
Yeah, really gonna hurt.
The other wolf rat is still coming back in, so.
Brass Orb going down on the Glade Riders with spears. It's enough to catch them out. Probably send them routing because they're loaded U-ship. There's just such a mobility advantage that you can sort of use Orion as a tether and then just sort of pick other things off around the place.
Also, Ikit is not currently fighting Orion in melee with his
No.
anti-large bonus.
He does also have magic attacks, and Orion has a physical resistance, so it means
so
that it could actually probably does stand a pretty decent chance.
Orion plus Council Guard, Ikit plus Council Guard will kill Orion.
Yeah, absolutely, but they're just sort of standing around at this point. He's trying to firing his warp fire thing, but it's probably not worth it since they're engaged in Storm Vermin.
Yeah.
Those globes as well going into those Council Guard probably wasn't worth it. Although the engagement is now happening between Ikit and Orion. The Council Guard as well going to get pulled in.
Once and did a lot of damage.
Yeah, the Wood Elves aren't looking too good. All they're really down to is Orion and the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. If Orion can sort of... He has his Way Watchers in the trees, but they are looking pretty hampered and low on ammo at this point. His Branch Wraith is also all the way over here. Like, a Pendulum would be really good at this point, so he really needs to get that Branch Wraith back there as soon as possible. Because the Pendulum could easily win him the game if he had him nearby, but for some reason he's throwing him to chase off a unit of Shattered Clan Rats with shields. Which is really bad. Like, he really needs a Pendulum. Also, that Hound as well, going right through into the Wild Hunters of Kurnos. Really unlucky spellcast there from the Wood Elves. Yeah, he really needed his Branch Wraith over there at that point. That could have been a moment to swing the game in his favour, but his Branch Wraith was preoccupied, and some really bad spellcasts meant he just wasn't. He just really suffered there.
Yeah, at this point it'd be kind of difficult for the Skaven to lose because they still have a full health Council Guard and Ikit still alive.
Yeah, if they could make use of a good Pendulum, if they blobbed up like they did before, but. It's unlikely now.
He
had his opportunity.
Ikit is running away from the fight.
Yeah, Ikit isn't on foot. I mean, Ikit has never really been, even on Doom Wheel or Doom Flurry, he's not too bad in melee.
Yeah,
he's always been more of a hybrid caster.
Yeah, he's he's just this character version of the Warp Block Master. They're good at melee, they have spells, and they're pretty tough.
Also on foot, his flamethrower is garbage. Like,
it's a neat little thing, but it's like it's nothing to get excited over.
Yeah, it has a garbage like targeting ability. You think it's good, and one time it did some damage, but that one time is contrasted with like 10 times where it did absolutely zero damage because
the Warp Lightning Cannon on the fucking Doom Wheel will be more effective than his flamethrower.
Oh,
it actually kills stuff.
This Pendulum does a little bit, but not as much as it could have done earlier. And it's probably not going to be enough to turn the tide because the Council Guard, now that he's used all his ammo on those shielded Storm Vermin, should have gone after those Council Guard with those.
You'll see that he Warp Lightninged his own Clan Rats and destroyed them.
Acceptable casualties.
Oh, those are Storm Vermin? Okay, that is not what you want to Warp Lightning.
Yeah.
I don't think Warp Lightning against Wood Elves is necessarily really like the most.
Oh, another Hound depending on how this Hound goes. Oh yeah, this Hound's going pretty well, and he's running into it as well. As a really well placed Hound there, making up for how badly the previous one went.
Oh, here's another one. Well, tries to run away, but pretty much plays it into the spell's advantage.
Yeah.
And the fact that it moves.
If he's able to sort of break down these Council Guards to their final pieces, then he might win, but Orion needs to get a lot of his healing underway at this point. Oh, Pendulum pretty much. Yeah, that Pendulum just pretty much finished off the rest of that counter guard. They still have 55 models left, but they're all on like such low HP. It is just down to Orion really at this point. If Orion can get a lot of his healing, then there's a chance they can survive, but it's up to whether or not Orion lasts long enough.
Yeah, but look at Orion versus Ikit fight.
Ikit, if he turns around and fights Orion, he should...
Yeah, he isn't really throwing any hits just yet.
He's not gonna win this. He can't win this. Look at the melee defense afterwards. Orion has 70 melee attack, and Ikit's melee attack is around the 40s, I think 40s.
Well, I mean, he has 22 bonus versus large.
Really good.
Yeah, he has 22 bonus.
Has a bonus versus, but he has a bonus versus large, but Orion is just like a beast, and he's too good. And Ikit's main advantage is its melee defense of 50.
Ikit got terror out as well because of the terror that he causes.
Defense, and he doesn't use that.
I think it's less about Orion being a beast and just straight up RNG sometimes, because it's not
RNG. It's not RNG if you have 20 more. You have so much like potential to get it. Like yes, of course, it can only go up to 90. Yeah. But I don't know the actual percentages. Maybe somebody knows it.
The percentage is the lowest you can get is around like 15%.
Yes, the lowest. No, 10%. I think 10 and 90% are the borders that you can like 90% maximum hit chance and 10% minimum. But like Orion limited every one of his hits. It's not RNG. He just has 20 more melee attack than Ikit has melee defense.
Yeah, but how much melee defense does Orion have?
I think Orion is somewhere in the 40s.
40.
Yeah, and Ikit has also 70 melee attack. They both should be hitting each other consistently. And
at that point, Ikit
just way more health.
Ikit just wasn't swinging at that point.
Yeah, Ikit wasn't able to get his swings off. It's again a weird scenario of like I've had scenarios where a few times where like a character like Snitch somehow beats Archaon because Archaon swings and then consistently misses, or somehow hits some other lord beside him.
Yeah, something in the way. Some like zombies or something are in the way. Some chaff that's in the way. The main problem here for the Skaven is that everything's so damaged, and Orion causing terror means that everything that tries to engage Orion's going to instantly run. And what's left of the counter guard won't be enough to kill Orion. Especially with it, seeing as he has his item, which is going to cause him to start regenning as soon as he hits that healing point.
Yeah, I feel like there was a good chance that Ikit could have killed Orion there. It's just Ikit got none of his attacks to hit for some reason. That's why I say it is very RNG.
He was not surrounded. I don't think Ikit has a chance of actually reliably killing Orion because he was not surrounded. He was surrounded by Skavens, so actually like Orion should have had the
debuff.
The disadvantage.
Ooh, that's a lot of value from.
Like,
a lot of value from Orion.
But again, like I said, you can end up just not hitting shit. It's like my giant swinging at Vlad. He missed 4 times in a row. Shit like that can happen.
Good value for Mikit.
Send him off like a goddamn golf ball and like.
Good value from one of the Globadiers and the Mortars. Yeah. One of the Wolf Rats did good. I think that was one that chased off a routed unit, so they just managed to destroy it. Figure battle. Wait, what was that? Number 8?
Number 9 is next.
Oh, Skaven versus Dwarves.
Yes.
Dowie.
Yeah, I think the army from Shogunik was like perfect, but except for the fact that he had no summons, which like opened him up to being flanked at the end. Yeah. Or just getting picked apart.
How can you place?
The opening was really like perfect. Like he killed the Dryads in like seconds, and then basically they only had the Wardens of Zephyr left and Orion.
Yeah.
And then it just got unlucky with the Cav play.
How can you fight the dwarves and not bring the dwarf thing menace?
Yeah. Yeah, Doom Flayers, which are kind of garbage now because they've been nerfed into the ground.
First of all,
never buffed again.
Looking at armies, this is a lot of dwarves. This is a lot of weirdly formation dwarves. Anyone explain what's going on here? It's like some sort of really strange formation, like Globadiers. One mortar Globadier would have had a field day with this. Like, there's nothing to kill them. This would have been amazing for some mortars or some plague claw catapults.
One catapult could just destroy this.
But unfortunately, he's not. He's focused on Giselles for killing artillery as opposed to and he's also brought the death runners to kill infantry as opposed to just explosive damage from mortars and such.
The dwarf strategy, given the fact that he's brought 7 ranged units, is that he will shoot the Skaven to pieces, and if they get into close combat, the dwarf ranged units have better stats than clan rats, so they'll just win.
A couple of long beards spread out. Yeah, 2 long beards in the front, and then dwarf warriors on the side with some slayers in the back. Grudge throwers, which probably wouldn't do much against Skaven, so weird that he's brought those. Looking at the Skaven army though, to really got just clan rats and Skaven slaves on this side just to tie things down, and he has a hidden detachment of death runners and gutter runners off to the side. He also has a plague priest with his his Mortis Engine Bell, and Deathmaster Snitch with his Whirlwind of Death and his Cloak of Shadows. Is it Cloak of Shadows? Yeah, it's the Cloak of Shadows. As well as a Wolf Rat with poison in the back. Not sure what it's doing back there. Don't know what he's expecting to have him behind, but oh well.
Also, Plague Priest on a Vel versus Doors, not great choice because they will shoot it to pieces.
They will shoot it, yeah.
And Grudge Throwers are surprisingly more accurate than you think.
Yeah, in this situation. And of course the Natty Bureaus will be fine because they have snipe. These ones might suffer a bit.
But he starts shooting the Grudge Throwers, but instead of just getting the Giselles to just shoot the artillery, he tries to dodge. The sharpshooters are not very fast and cannot dodge shots.
Somehow he's able to see the Natty Bureaus. Don't know how he's able to see those.
No, he's figuring out where they are and shooting generally. He's giving them an attack.
No, they don't have hidden for some reason. I don't know how he can see them. Because now he's charging the Lord forward to see them, but
yeah,
then he's just got unrevealed. How is he seeing them?
He isn't. He's not
seeing them anymore. But I mean, he's sort of like flickering in and out.
No, like the unit was hidden the entire time. It was the fact that he was shooting at the ground near them.
I'm pretty sure you saw. I didn't see the hidden thing on him.
Well,
I'm not sure if it was just. It could have been. Hidden. Yeah, these ones have hidden. You can see those on here. You can see these on the death runners and the gutter runners, but I can't see on the Bureaus.
The firing covers the hidden.
I was wondering if that was it.
Yeah, firing.
Because now you see your hidden units are revealed. Now he sees them. You couldn't see them before.
Plague Priest, as you can see here, just getting shot to pieces with all those ranged units. He's trying to do a sort of serpentine to Shrek, but it's not pulling out. He has almost killed all the Grudge Throwers though.
Yeah, but the thing with what the dwarf player was doing was I believe there is a command to pretty much you pull up like a little AoE and direct fire your artillery where you want it to shoot, and he was firing in the area that he knows that they're probably shooting from.
Gowan is getting pretty shredded by all the Quarrel of Fire.
Yep.
Natty Bureaus have almost taken out the Grudge Throwers though. They're really low on health, just they're sticking around for so long, despite how low their health is for an artillery crew.
And there really isn't like okay.
You dying, Psycho?
Sounds like it, doesn't it? Maybe. Yeah, he hasn't got really anything to kill these ranged units, which is the problem. He hasn't got any mortars or plague claw catapults, which is sort of the advantage Skaven sometimes have in this matchup.
This dwarf player can just sit there and shoot for days, because he's got 7 ranged units. He can just sit there and shoot them as much as he wants, and there's not much he can do. Because the sharpshooters only have so much ammo. Like the Nanny Boober sharpshooters are out of ammo now. The artillery's dead, but there's still 7 units of ranged units just able to fire.
Pouring fire down, and there's nothing really can stop them.
There are gutter runners, but again, gutter runners aren't armed.
Yeah, they're not going to win though. They're in ranged. So sending the Plague Bell into Slayers as well. Just really wants to kill that Plague Priest off. He's clearly some sort of rival in the clan or something.
Yeah.
Okay, Sugarnick, the issue is just that mortars are really good against dwarves.
Yeah, either mortars or catapults.
Like, any of the mortars could have killed any of the enemy units from range.
Yeah, basically.
Deals with both of the
Grudge Throwers. Yeah, you use the Giselles to take out with the Grudge Throwers or the cannons, and then you just rain down mortar fire.
Or in some cases, you could have just like instead of bringing the sharpshooters and that you could probably just 3 plague claw catapults, delete all of his grudge throwers, and then just shoot the rest of his army, and he has to come to you at that point. Which is the worst case scenario for a dwarf player. Oh yeah, he almost killed the Lord here, and then runs away.
No, he did kill the Lord and he shatters.
Lord dies.
No, I'm talking about when the Lord ran out first, he got him a snitch, and then because he started getting shot at, he ran away, when the Lord could have died, which would have been really good. But, yeah, no, it's, he's got a lot of bullets to shoot.
Kazuki. Wolf Rats not being large actually means they're not taking that much of a penalty from Slayers. I mean, they'll still lose, but they'll actually do a fair bit of damage because Slayers don't have any armor. Although the Gut Runners will actually do a really good damage against the Slayers.
If they're the poison variant, they'd be quite useful.
They are the poison variant.
They don't have armor. Okay.
Which makes them, although the Gut Runners will do most damage to the Slayers here, I think.
Gut Runners will kill the Slayers.
Yeah, that's what they're for. Most of the Skavens have, there's too much ranged ammo left, to be honest, on the dwarf side, that the Skavens can't really do an awful lot.
No matter what
They're just still going around, and they still got the Death Squad, but trying to win the melee fight against dwarves, relying on that heavily, isn't the bestest of ideas most of the time.
Yeah, usually you want to destroy your opponent and then use the Death Runners to clean them up. Because of the
use Death Runners and team-up bombs, you can get up to like 10 meters next to you.
You can get in really close.
Before they actually see it, it's disgusting how close you can get.
Yeah, Shogunate. In a lot of cases, the magic resistance is only 25%. So unless it's like unless it's like a spell like Plague Breath or something, or certain other spells, or even just basic units, magic damage isn't a bad choice against the dwarves if it's artillery, because your damage is so high that it just kills the models instantly.
Yeah, like you think.
Don't have.
Artillery units have 75% physical resistance, but they still die to physical attack all the same.
Yeah.
Make them immune to the damage. It just makes them like a bit less effective. Like you should maybe look for another method. But when you think about how good that armor piercing damage is that you factor in, and factor in that's like your main source of armor piercing damage, you want to use that instead.
Again, I've run a couple of times where I would use Wither plus Plague Breath to just delete a Dwarf Warrior frontline. Because Plague Breath still does a lot of damage, it's just the armor that's in the way, and the magic resist makes them do just nothing.
Only really the Night Bureaus getting their value in this engagement here.
In the general, I feel like Death Runners are like difficult to get
complete, yeah.
To get all value on all of them, full value is difficult if you have like 3.
Yeah, all those dwarf range units did really well.
Yeah. This is how you beat the Skaven, like go really, really wide.
Really, yeah.
They don't nuke you with mortars into death.
Yeah, actually, even if it was wide and he had mortars, he could just push forward and try and...
He would have need like 2 mortars at least to kill all that shit.
To kill all of it. Alright.
May as well save the best till last, eh?
Funny. Yeah,
best till last. Because it's got Ted in it, it must be... Oh, no.
Yes, it's...
Oh, no. Okay, who thought, yes, I'll bring Queek against the cavalry faction. I'll bring the anti-infantry guy against the cavalry faction.
The best lord.
And he thought, yeah, I'll bring 3 blessed trebuchets against Skaven. I'm not seeing it. Also doesn't have Lore of Life.
Yeah, no, he does have Lore. Wait.
That's Lore of Heavens. That is the worst one. Lore of Beasts would have been really good actually, but Lore of Heavens. Why Heavens? Why would you bring Lore of Heavens in this matchup?
I actually brought the Skaven Slave Slingers as an idea of it's like, well, if you counter the Peasant Bowmen with even shittier low-cost units that aren't packed together.
Oh, I see Ted's trying out something different. He's ditched his Hippogriff Knights and is now bringing Mounted Yeomen as his duo to bring with his Albric. Alright.
Yeah, what to bring with Albric.
He's brought... Okay, so he didn't even bring Windblast. He brought Comet and Chain Lightning and Curse of the Midnight Wind against Skaven. Didn't bring Windblast. He brought Comet of Casanova. Or however that's pronounced.
Casanova.
Cassandora.
Casadora? Okay. I always call it Casanova.
Cassandora.
So
Cassandra, yeah.
here we've got a front line.
Yeah, looking at the Skaven army. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now.
All right, so. Oh wait, it's not.
I am looking at it though, so you can just go through it on the on the playback.
So we've got front line of Skaven slaves with Skaven slave slingers just in front of them, with clan rats, and 2 units of sharpshooters, and the council guard with Queek and a little chieftain.
Breaking the rules. You bring in 2 guardian. Actually, no, they probably patched that out by now, but still, 2 guardians.
Oh wait.
He's got a guardian from the council guard and a guardian from the chieftain.
Oh.
Council guard give guardian, don't they?
Yeah. Well, they don't stand very long by the council guard, anyways.
It does mean the chieftain are getting a buff, so that's nice.
Yeah, and some storm vermin.
Warp lightning cannon as well.
Yeah, warp lightning cannon that effectively does, I think, dick all.
What? Why are Vulcan? First of all, why did you bring Vulcan tail lashes? Second of all, why are they back here?
Because I could.
Aha.
Because they're just they're just on a special. They're on a field trip. They're here to see the world. They're just on the Queek's world tour.
Yeah. No, the fire resistance is protecting them against the Aurora battle pilgrims. That's
yeah.
Yeah, and the fire archers as well.
Also, they're just a cheap gold chevron clan rat unit that's able to hold its own fairly easily.
I know. I mean, if it's in this position, I'd rather it just be a spearman unit. To be honest.
Yeah, but no, they're on Queek's world tour.
Anyway, looking at this madhouse, Battle of Pilgrims is nice, Peasant Archers is nice, the rest of it's insane, so... Okay, I don't even need to say what's wrong on this left flank, so everything's wrong on this left flank. 3 Blessed Field Trebuchets, maybe against weapons teams I see it, but well, you just bring regular ones, wouldn't you? Yeah, I'm not seeing it.
Just bring regular ones.
I mean, in this situation, he has actually got them outranged, depending on how much... If he goes for the Warp Lightning Cannons, I'm curious to see if he can get it down. It could force the Skaven to advance. So because, maybe there's something there.
I didn't realize that there were that many trees in the way.
There is a fair amount of trees for this map, so Warp Lightning doesn't perform that well.
I think one of them actually gets all the way through and hits one of the cannons. Hits one of the trebuchets.
Yeah, I see it. Oh my god, it hit the crew. Knocked that guy right off. Oh my god, he killed him. He's dead. There he goes. Zapped like 3 people in a row. Ouch.
You're lagging again below.
Yeah. Oh dear. Robert failed. Get through this last battle for God's sake. Okay, so he also has the Holy Wardens of La Maison-Tal. No, that's not it. But yeah, so I have a feeling it's going to be this for a while.
Yeah. Just walking forward.
Oh, neither side's moving.
Because I know I can't.
Yeah, that Warp Lightning Cannon's going to get outshot, definitely. It's going to force the Skaven to advance. Maybe there is a play with that. You know what? Fair enough. Maybe triple trebuchet against Skaven. Maybe that's a thing. Because now he's also going to be able to destroy the counter guard with those. I mean, to be fair, after he's killed the yeah, he can kill weapon teams, but after he's killed the council guard, all he has left is like the jails, and after that, there's nothing really for him to shoot at. So.
But that's fine. Like, hell, just 2 trebuchets would be enough, and that's pretty.
Yeah, you probably didn't need the blessed one. I think just regular. You could also chevron up regular ones so that they have more accuracy. Could be an idea. So, that's always a method. Just over those there. Yeah, some good damage going on to those council guard. Also has mounted yeoman. Don't ask why.
Yeah, mounted yeoman.
No knights. No knights in this army.
But he couldn't bring all those blessed trebuchets if he didn't just bring the yeoman instead.
I mean, you could drop a comet and maybe a chain nova. You could probably swap out. Also, just bring like Faye on foot, maybe. Just not Albrecht. Then you can just not bring the damsel in the first place. Although there goes Wrath of Manan. Oh no, it's gonna miss and hit his yeoman. Yeah, it went right between them, and it hit the yeoman. Nice, cool. Oh, it's gonna hit both units. No, just the one. That was TED level play right there.
Yeah, I managed to dodge the actual spell entirely.
Skaven slaves didn't even reach the front line. They're dead already.
Yeah, they never had a fucking.
Skaven slaves, all dead.
Skaven slave slingers shooting into the yeoman.
Oh yeah, Natty Bebos, they're getting caught. Oh, sharpshooters, they're dead. Jazales are dead as well.
Yeah.
Not looking good for the Skaven.
Nanny Boo Boos are actually...
Yeah, it looks like they may survive. They're getting caught, but the Wanderer's Ale unit did die. Not much ready to kill the Battle Pilgrims.
Don't worry, that's what my secret weapon's for. Good old Queek.
Queek just there to kill every Battle Pilgrim there is on the planet.
Yeah. Yeah, he's...
Don't think Ted's used the spell yet. I don't blame him because there's no opportunity for him to use a comet on this engagement. Why he'd bring it is unknown. Why would you bring a comet, Chain Nova, and 3 trebuchets? Have you got enough AoE damage already? Is he going to drop a comet? He's dropping a comet on the chieftain. My brain.
Killing him.
It did. I actually did notice a change in the health bar, so I can't even be that mad. This is... He's engaged Albric into all 3 of them. That is insanity.
Yeah, that is... I think I use Trophy Hunter on him too.
Yeah, I think you have. Yeah, that's probably why he's taking so much damage. Yeah, Trophy Heads.
Chunk.
Yeah, when you drop something by 40 melee defense, you're just kind of an anti-everything at that point, aren't you?
Yeah. With both the Chieftain's anti-large bonus and also Queek just having a lot of melee attack.
Yeah, it was like 70 flat, I think.
Plus 75% armor piercing.
Yeah, it was 66 flat. I think it had 70 pre-nerf. Oh.
No, it's 75% more armor pierce.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's a melee attack, sorry. Oh, a nice breath going on to those Holy Wardens. Oh look, the engagement, Vulcan Tail Slashers versus Le Maison Tal. I mean, they're also getting debuffed by the Plague Bell, but this is their time to shine. I just saw a Vermintide back in the background there.
A lot of archers though.
Whoa! That Plague Monk summon instantly got fired out by that trebuchet. Immediately, there was like quick draw.
Plague Monks into the archers though.
What is this? Is this what I think it is? Oh no, what is that? Oh, I see, it's that. Yeah, okay, that's pretty good. That was pretty good. That makes up for the pitiful last one they used. Bell's still going strong though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, he's got these trebuchets with ammo left, which aren't going to do much. That's the problem. Like, they've got nothing else to shoot at now. Like, they're firing at Queek for God's sake. But Albric's going to get destroyed in a minute. Yeah, Albric's going to get wrecked. He's on 189 health. He's, for some reason, Queek turned around.
No, there goes
Albric. Oh no, to catch up with the stream, he turned around. He's surprised. He's a big old storm vermin.
He's as big as the damn horse.
He also has his trophy heads, so you know they make him look taller. Yeah, I mean, it's really just down to Queek and the Chieftain. Literally everything else is gone. Oh, actually, no, you know, now Bubos are coming back, but they're running out of things to shoot at. It is just Battle Pilgrims, Archers and Trebuchets against Queek and the Chieftain.
Yeah,
they're firing...
Skaven Slave Slingers.
Oh my god, he's gonna fire right into the back of the Battle Pilgrims. Please don't, Ted. My god, he's good, they're really inaccurate. Actually, no, they would have killed him. I can't even tell what's shooting at what. It's such chaos. It's like I can't tell what's shooting at what. Why are they shooting at it? And like they're firing right into Battle Pilgrims.
This is just chaos.
The Bubos are firing into the backs of Battle Pilgrims. Like the Trebuchets are firing at Skaven Slave Slingers. What is?
You just said he doesn't have targets. So now he has a target.
He's got something to shoot at. Oh, these poor Battle Pilgrims are going to get destroyed by their own archers.
Because they're trying to shoot all the archers.
What's that Chieftain attack animation where he like just screams while he's holding his stick, and then swings like 10 minutes later? Queek only has 43 melee defense, although he does have a huge chunk of armor, but still.
Yeah. Oh god.
I can't.
Shooting so many arrows at Queek.
I can't tell who's going to win at this point. I think the battle into power is really taking a lot of that blessed field trebuchet ammo into consideration, but unless he takes direct control and starts firing at Queek point blank, I don't think he's going to do much.
Yeah.
I am just... This is a game. This is definitely a Ted game.
This is definitely a funny.
Ah yeah, Verminous Valor. Really feels like that should kill some people when that, you know, sends them like 2 meters in the air.
That would make them so
that would
good.
definitely break some backs. The explosion itself wouldn't do much, just the fact that you're throwing them like 2 meters across the ground is going to hurt them.
Yeah, break them free so I can get to the archers.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be a lot of shooting at Queek and the Chief. Although the Chieftain might actually rout at this point with the surround. No, he's back. Yeah, this is just a let's fire point blank at Queek. Oh, is he going to fire? What's he firing at now? Skaven Slave Slingers. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just a lot of. Another Vermis Valor.
Slowly murdering.
It's hard to, like, oh, he's even throwing the damsel in. The damsel went in. That was a bad idea. That was really bad. That balance of power got really shifted. He should have kept that damsel out. Also, that's a leadership tool. Do not throw her in just for the sake of it.
Oh god, he thought he could probably get like 1 or 2 extra hits to.
No, yeah, no, don't, because look how much the balance of power swung because of that. He had a chance of just hitting Queek with army losses if he had kept her at full health.
Yeah. Well, actually, I still have a lot of slaves kicking around, and I have the.
I mean, they're slaves. Yeah, sharpshooters are nearly armor though.
Yeah, the sharpshooters are still alive, so as long as Queek lives, the armor will survive. So,
yeah, all the Bretonian stuff's just running.
I can only imagine how many arrows are in Queek.
Let it be known that the only Bretonian units standing are 2 blessed field trebuchets and a unit of out of ammo archers. Somehow the balance of power is almost even. Jeez, now do you not have you have a warp lightning left? You could just use that.
Yep.
But he's like, no, I'll send the crew in.
I actually didn't realize the cannons were still there. I thought they were all destroyed.
Yeah, because you can't see if there's like you don't see the artillery pieces if you click on the weapons.
No, you can't see. You can never look at where they were, and there's one left here. But
yeah.
I'm not even entirely sure what I'm watching at this point.
Yeah.
Glorious warp fire, they say. It's getting closer. Oh yeah, there goes one. One actually hit. Yeah, there's that unit entirely gone. My god, they killed it, all of them.
To be fair, yeah, here comes an anti-boomer sharpshooter shooting. God. One of the flesh trebuchets is finally dead.
Who will win?
I mean,
Peasant archers or nutty buboes? Yeah, I think they're gonna rout. Yeah, they routed. There they go. Huh. Okay, well, this is gonna be entertaining. They're gonna fire the blessed field trebuchet at Queek and the Chieftain. Here they come, boys. Load the trebuchets.
Shoot the rat, man.
Will they land? Place it better. Okay, you know the splash damage is definitely hitting Queek there. Don't know if they're getting a direct hit though. Another one going in. Oh, secret meta play. They do magic damage, so the Guardian ability isn't affecting them. Queek's not getting the bonus from his Guardian. Secret meta-ness of the Blessed Field Trebuchet firing at Queek with those Trebuchet rounds.
Oh god. Queek literally dragged
the bowman just ran. They see these 2 rats running at them and they just run.
Rat too angry to die.
2 rats too angry to. If thing is, if you take direct control of these, you're much more likely to hit. I would have just fired. Come on, get one more shot off before they get into your minimum range. Go on, fire. What are they doing? They're just going. Oh, no, no, they're not going to fire. They're broken.
He's in the trees now. Oh, god.
No, yeah, they're gone. There they go. Yeah, there they go. Finally, army losses. That was a really weirdly skewed battle there. That was a weird one.
Literally the one-man army Queek.
Queek and the Chieftain.
Yeah.
Well, that was something.
That was definitely something.
Queek got some nice value on him. Plague Priest did okay. Night Beavers did something. Warp Lightning died. Everything else did everything else. Albrick. Damsel didn't do a thing.
How much value did he get?
Not good. Archers, some of the archers did quite nice, like 1,000 on almost all the archers, bar 1.
Yeah, because they got to sit there and shoot everything, and they.
1,000 on 2 of the blessed field trebuchets as well. I mean, when your ranged units in the Bretonian army are doing the most work, I think you're doing something wrong.
Something has gone horribly wrong.
Horribly wrong. The lady does not approve of this unchivalrous action. All right then. Well, that is the end of it today. Apologies for the hopefully on the playback there won't be any lag. I think it's just on the stream there's going to be some lag, but I'll turn on the resolution for next time. Thank you all for watching the stream.
I'll watch one of the other funnies.
Now it's way past. We're 50 minutes over now.
Way past our bedtime.
Yeah. I've got places. I've got WoW to play. Got places to be. All right. ended the stream now. Thank you for watching
Okay,
the recording.
Next week for Coast and Dwarves, right?
Oh yeah, Coast and Dwarves. I can't wait. Be there or be square. Boy, I can't wait.
Spam deck droppers, guys.
Look forward to it, everyone. Goodbye.